What's going on, guys? This is Duck Boys Gaming here. I'm your host, Zombie Duck. Today, we finally have Johan in the house.
Yeah.
We got Stats Duck over here playing Johan. We got Peking Duck in the corner in the Kigu. Cows don't talk, so he's just not talking. We got Amnesia Goose forgetting who he is. He forgot to wear a shirt this morning, guys. And just showed up, we got Ugly Duckling. And we got our DM, Pheasant, Fantasy Fowl.
4,000 years I slumber, now I've awakened! Welcome everyone back to Dungeons and Ducks. This week, we kill all the ducks. Probably, we'll see, maybe, who's to know. Last time, our heroes managed to climb up the Younwith Alps, the highest Alps in the northern part of the continent. There, from below, they were supposed to go towards the dwarven village of Norvanka. However, they had found that the dwarves were under siege by a small army of giants. Now they make war with these giants. Two members of the party, Raven and Hella, had managed to help out and are attempting to aid in the escape of one female giantess, trapped, tied up, and betrayed by the rest of the clan. Our other heroes are attempting to break into the mines where the giants and the ogres are apparently holding the dwarves of the village. However, plans tend to go awry, and now they're currently face to face with a large number of giants: Perish, Killam, and Zeke. Yes, Zeke. I only remember the living. Zeke are currently at odds with the giant horde, led by one fearsome female giantess, unlike all the others, with a strangeness to her hard to explain, that had managed to kill Keelam's newest lover. Meanwhile, Johan has mysteriously disappeared. Where is he now? Will our party survive this encounter? Find out right now on Dungeons and Ducks. All four of you, roll new initiative.
Oh boy. Oh, that's weird.
Not me.
Not you, not just yet.
You said all four. I looked around. I'm like, there's more than four of us.
I got a solid number.
Alright.
Wonderful.
Not solid.
21 for me.
21. All right, this is just a quick
I
moment.
really hope the Giants don't roll high.
I've pre-rolled their numbers.
Of course.
Already.
Yes. All right, so we got a 21 from Johan. Zeke, what are you?
16.
16. Perish, what are you?
14.
14.
Wow,
And finally,
the big 1-0.
1-0.
So they all rolled that once, right?
Surprisingly, no.
Yeah, they rolled an infinity number. They're just continuously to keep going.
They snapped their fingers and said they were inevitable.
Oh no. Where's
Yes.
our? Oh wait, I can't see anything. That's spoilers for people who have watched it.
All right, so let's start with Johan. Johan, you find yourself currently in one of the dwarven houses, one that has been less wrecked, only some glass broken, furniture on its side, presumably maybe from the stomping around and the impacts of these giants. You see a lot of glass on the floor from cups falling from cabinets and the like, and one table on its side along with some chairs falling down. You had decided to hide in a different house than the rest of your comrades. In the heat of the moment, you didn't notice they were making a left at Albuquerque Street. You were not. Now, currently, you see that a few blocks down, the entire giant force is engaging on your comrades. You're not sure if they're going to fight or flee. Either way, though, you believe you have a easy opportunity to probably get out of here unseen with the giant so heavily distracted. There is, however, one other oddity within this house. You see, a mere couple moments ago, a white rabbit with no arms or legs flew through the window, cracked its neck on the floor, turned into an ogre, and is now unconscious. Not dead, but unconscious. And at your feet. What do you do?
So it's an ogre.
It is an ogre,
It is an
yes,
ogre.
a type of giant.
Okay.
There's a very large number of them as you look out the window, running towards the giants. They're just slightly slower, but they're running towards your party, clubs in hand, a small armada. You see at least maybe a dozen or so. They're also running out of the mines.
Alright. He's unconscious.
The
Right.
one in your home is unconscious. Nobody seems to have noticed him. He was a rabbit a moment ago. That was weird.
That was weird. Alright, can I check his body for any like weaponry or
Sure, you check. There's no one to really. There's not a lot going on. He's wearing a lot of fur coats, maybe like 2 or 3 wolves, all patched poorly together to make some sort of misshapen jacket. But as you pull stuff off and get into his pockets, you find no real gold. You see some jerky of unknown meats and origins. You see some uncooked. You see some kind of uncooked meat on a bone that was probably some sort of midnight snack for him. You see he has a club and a pretty well-made spear, actually. Nothing particularly better than what you have, but, well, not better than your main weapon, but still decent enough. He doesn't have any loot on him, though.
what's like an average height for an ogre?
8 feet.
Alright, so I'm at 6'4", 6'5", around there.
He's a bit bigger than you.
Yeah. Can I take his fur coat? I'm gonna wrap it around myself.
You can.
Alright, I will do that.
Okay.
Oh, yeah, I'll pull it away, put it right on top of me.
Yeah.
Now,
nice.
I'm looking outside the window. I'm seeing these ogres. Like,
Yeah, you're seeing a large amount of ogres just storming through with their spears and their clubs, heading towards the back of this giant here. You also see in the distance a lot of buildings being thrown, a lot of like debris being moved away as these giants are all encircling your allies.
Is there a way that I can actually go through this way? Is there a way I can go through the buildings, like not through them, but like behind the buildings, in order to like be in this area without being seen?
You could attempt it, yes. Do
Okay.
you want to attempt to take the ogre with you?
Take him with me?
You could attempt it.
He's a big guy.
You're a strong guy.
That's a big guy.
You're a strong guy.
I already took his fur coat. Alright, I'm gonna make this. Alright, I'm gonna try to lift him off and put him on my shoulder.
Awesome. Give me an athletics check. Would you like to rage before you do this?
Yes.
All right.
Advantage, yes. Alright. Since I am raging, I do have advantage on strength checks.
Yeah.
So that's not any better. So strength plus 5, so 14.
A 14. That is enough for you to at least pick him up. You're slowly dragging him away. Now I'm just going to need a stealth check as you attempt to get out. Well, with ease.
Alright. Stealth check. Where's my stealth? Alright. 18.
An 18, very solid. You're managing to maneuver in the shadows without them noticing. Giants have a harder time to see in the dark, and, well, you do as well. Between the moonlight and the starlight, you're both able to get a general idea of what you're seeing. At one point, you swear one of the stragglers in the back of the horde stopped for a moment to look at you, and you see the giant is just slightly over you, and you're in front of a hedge, and you move his arm like... And then the giant waves back and says, "Grr!" and then continues running back towards the horde. You walk past him. Now you're safely out of danger's way. You imagine you could go all the way straight towards the, completely out of the encampment, out of the town, probably from the angle you came in, if you could continue.
Alright, there's no way. I know my guys were smart. I know they wouldn't fight what we're seeing right now. So I'm going to try to make it out of town.
Absolutely. We're going to continue that, but for now, Zeke, you're up.
Oh, cool. Yeah.
You sound confident.
I really feel in character right now.
You just managed to slash the shit
So
out of one of their shins, electricity running through it. But as you looked up in triumph, you saw that you had merely scratched the creature.
Right, of course. So I'm going to, how much So I'm hasted. I'm in werewolf form.
Correct.
I want to pick up, kill him, and
Yeah.
run.
Okay, yeah. So you move maybe about 30 feet to pick up Calum.
Okay.
What's your base speed?
Base speed as a werewolf is 50.
Awesome. Now, after you pick him up, your speed is halved. But first, I'm going to need an athletics check.
Okay.
Oh, I'm also remember that.
You are also hasted. I do remember.
Athletics. I'm good at that.
And you have an advantage.
And I have advantage.
You cannot
I
guidance
can't
him.
guidance.
Oh, wait,
We're in combat.
Yeah.
It's different.
So that knocks my 15 over, but so I'm gonna use that 15 plus 5, 20.
20, yeah, easy. You pick him up. Now, your base speed is 50. Do you make a full dash?
I'll use my action to dash
Mhm.
and my hasted action to dash.
Okay, that means you're going to be moving at 120 feet this round, carrying your brother. By the way, does Keelam resist?
No.
Awesome.
I'm just
So-
gonna yell, I'm sorry, Tempest, I'm sorry, Kilo, we
I'm
need
like,
to rush.
Tactical retreats. I'm not looked down upon.
So
When,
let's
you
say
know,
you're at the edge
There are
of
like
the map
several
there.
buildings fighting you.
And I'm gonna yell at Parrish, hurry up!
I'm gonna cough blood because I just got hit by a building a minute ago, right?
Yep.
Yeah.
Oh
I'm coughing up
no.
blood. Yeah.
Can you use a bonus action to give him a health potion?
You could hand it to him, but you
I have
can't
one.
give it to him.
Okay,
I have one. Yeah.
okay,
You got
never
one.
mind.
Wonderful, wonderful. All right, now it's going to be some of the giants' turns. Exactly half of them.
Oh dear.
About yay. About yay as
Oh.
he dashes forward.
Okay, so we can't hit him.
And also about yay. And this one is going to move just about here.
They're
and
gonna throw a
throw a
building.
rock. He picks up a large chunk of stone and pavement from the ground, from what was once a road. He swings it at Parrish.
I wish this was alcohol, but no.
Does an 11 hit Parrish?
Wow.
Nice. Amazingly, that giant somehow fucking missed. I'm going to assume he was throwing it at Paris right as the other giant was running up, and it like almost hit the other giant. So he picked up his club and went "Rah!" and smashed it to the ground. You're so covered in dust and debris, thinking, "Oh, whew, that was close." And now he's screaming at the other giant, "Grah!" And that giant's like, "Grah! Grah! Grah!" And now we move on to Parrish's turn.
I follow suit.
Super. So let me just double check. Yeah, you're within swinging distance, so this hill giant is going to take an attack of opportunity.
You're good. You're hasted.
Hold on.
You got
Yep.
me.
That's the case. If I'm in distance,
You want to disengage?
I'm not gonna waste the action. Oh, wait,
Okay.
oh shoot, did I use? Well, how many? do
You've
I have?
already hasted, so you have 2 actions to use.
I have 7.
7
Points.
Points.
Or
Oh,
slots.
points.
Yeah, it's points. It's supposed to be
I'm
points.
gonna.
Has to be.
I'm going to. Is it 2 or it's 2? Spend 2 to go to 5 sorcery points, and I'm going to appropriately thunderstep.
Okay, yeah, sure.
Oh my gosh, he's not causing an avalanche.
All right, yeah.
Well,
so
actually-
you, yeah.
So at the base.
Emphasis on appropriately.
I do believe
On the
that this
mountain.
is an.
Are you going to thunderstep?
Yeah.
So you thunderstep a full 90 feet. You're already way above your allies. That's going to be your action. Now they make a saving throw. What's the
used
DC?
Wicked spell to make it my bonus.
Oh, even better. Yeah, okay. So that's your bonus action.
My spell DC?
Yeah.
17.
17, okay. Plus, is it con, right?
You're a con.
I am a
I
con.
believe.
A con man. Dun-dun-dun.
Okay, so one hill
Yeah.
giant failed. The troll following behind him succeeded. I'm sorry, reverse that. The hill giant succeeded. The troll has failed. Roll me some damage.
You got it, Commander. Do-do-do-do. Hold on.
If you cast it at your base at level 3, I believe that's what, 3d8?
That is some feet. Do-do-do. What's the damage on? 3d10 on a
3d10.
failed and half on a successful.
Correct, so just roll the 3d10.
And 16.
Okay, so that's 16 on the troll and 8 on the hill giant. And now you're 90 feet away. Do you want to move or you want to stay where you are?
I'm a jet.
You're gonna jet, yeah. So what's your base speed?
Remember,
30?
guys,
Base speed is 30.
Okay, that means you can
You're a
move a
jet.
whole
You're a
180
jet.
feet.
You're a jet all the way.
From your first cigarette.
Yeah, so you guys see a big kaboom that, if anyone was not asleep at this point, had obviously been awakened by. But as you
Hello?
watch electricity surge past a couple of the giant enemies, you then immediately see Parrish appear right next to you and then disappear in a cloud of smoke as he bulleted the fuck out of there.
Since I'm a werewolf, my ears go on like.
Yeah, exactly. You were like... And next up, it's going to be more giants.
Yay!
Yeah.
I'm not scared becoming a hamburger or whatever.
I'm pretty out of there.
About
I'm
here.
not in the theme or
About
anything.
here. About here, and is going to throw another chunk of rock. This time at...
Crushed,
Let's see.
not diced.
This time it's going to be at the werewolf.
Okay.
Holy shit! It's a 12.
Woo!
Yeah, you guys. She picks up some stone. She throws that shit, and you guys are just way too fucking fast. As you're running, immediately Keelam goes, zigzag, zigzag, serpentine, and you do so. You successfully get out of there.
Can confirm that I would say that.
Yeah. So now this has become something more of a chase. You only have about a minute of haste. So we're going to need to find out how far away you guys can get. First, Johan, let's see. Are you going to try to sprint your way out carrying this guy, or are you going to try to stealth your way out carrying this guy?
So the reason I carried him is to get through the first
Yeah.
wave.
Uh-huh.
So now they can't see me.
No, they can't see you.
Alright,
Do you
so
want to just drop him?
I'm gonna drop him.
Dope.
All right. I still have his fur coat though.
He's a hop.
You do.
Yeah.
Insulting.
Very insulting. All right. So I'm gonna try to do it stealth.
Wonderful. Give me a stealth check.
Shows me a break his spirit.
Okay. Break his.
19.
A 19. Yeah, you're getting out of here at a timely manner. You have to stop between houses as you see more and more giants are running in their own kind of dopey way towards the action, but that's no problem for you. You seem to have a better idea of what's going on in general than any of these boys. Next up, I'm going to need a athletics check from Zeke and an athletics check from Parrish to see how far and how fast you guys can run in this minute.
You know, you'd be surprised.
Do I have advantage on athletics?
You do, because you're a werewolf.
Nat 20.
Holy shit.
Nat 20.
No!
Wait.
What?
No, it's
$70 dice.
Oh.
$70 dice.
Holy shit! That was a $70 nat 20.
He bought that nat 20.
Pay to win. Hacks.
What kind of dice are these?
Those were at
They're
I
selling
got them
that.
at a location that I told you about before with the card.
The ones
All right,
that you
now,
offered to
Keelam,
buy.
your hands are free. Do you want to do anything to potentially slow down your enemies as your friends make the getaway?
So we need to slow them down, and from what I can tell, I don't think I have much that I could use to do so.
I think we're pretty solid
But-
in terms of running away.
If I were to use Guardian of Faith, would that just stay inside the area and make like a wall for us?
Not a wall,
Not
but
a
it
wall,
will
but-
it will cut them down and definitely slow their advancement. It will bottleneck them.
That would be like if I leave, it's still there, right? Like.
Oh, yeah, it
Okay,
stays.
cool. That's my biggest thing. I didn't know
Mhm.
if it was from radius have to be within.
No,
for it
no,
to
that's
be there?
Spirit Guardians.
You got it.
So yeah, then I'm using. I'm
Awesome.
using Guardian of Faith.
So as you guys, you feel
what
the
level was that
adrenaline.
spell again?
It's fourth, I believe.
Okay.
Let me write down that I used the third.
Just because
Yes,
like
please.
it doesn't say what level it is, I need to do that myself, but I forgot to.
Right. So as you guys feel the adrenaline pumping through your hearts, as you feel your muscles tense in your legs, you for a moment pause. You stop. You both crouch down. You get the eyes of the cheetah, the spirit of the tiger, and as you...
Spirit of the wolf.
Yes, spirit of the wolf in your case. And as you start to untense those muscles, you explode like 1,000 Usain Bolts out into the distance. The giants are still chasing forward, but you're making immense pace. As you start to get to a point where the city opens up, but the mountains create a bottleneck, Keelam activates his magic, and a holy guardian, an angel. What does the angel look like, Keelam?
So, when I picture Guardian of Faith,
Yeah.
I just see a cow.
Uh-huh.
The cow.
Just
Oh,
a
yeah.
cow in barbarian armor
Yeah,
on all fours.
I like it.
And then there's just knives, like, taped to its back.
If there is an angel in this world,
Are we
I believe
talking-
it's a
are we
knife
talking
cow.
duct tape, or are we talking like?
Yeah, is it?
You know what? Let's work with the duct tape. It's sewed into its back.
Wow.
Yeah, it's hardcore. So as the giants start
That's
moving,
what
as the giants start rushing forward, they see this strange, large, glowing abomination, and they pause for a moment. Then they start to try to run up and swing at it. And as they do, the cow just kind of curves inward, and basically Sonic charges right towards them. A
a
ball,
porcupine?
yeah, a ball of knives strike at the giants, injuring them and slowing them down. They have to try to run around it or deal with the injuries.
I wish to present Deuces
Yeah.
because we out.
Uh-huh. Uh-huh. Okay, I just rolled the Giants' athletics, and no, you guys are out. As they keep running forward, they start throwing rocks at you, and you just keep up the distance. After about a minute, the spell ends. You both fall on your faces, tired and stunned, but you quickly get up. You hear the giants in the distance, but you've already turned the corner. Now, they're still running forward, and these are giants. They are quite fast, but you've put up an insane amount of distance. You can't even really see them except for maybe silhouettes in the horizon. You see rocks, however, still getting thrown at immense distances as they try to reach you. You have basically the head start. Now, how do you wish to proceed?
Where were I in terms of location and the camp?
You have passed the frozen lake. You are towards the left, closer to where you had started, behind a mountain. You can still see them in the distance, but far in the distance. You have a lot of space to work with.
Well,
There's a decently large plain leading from the path, leading from the opening of the lake to the other mountains, but there are any number of mountains for you to run towards and climb.
all right,
Do we have any? Is there anywhere to hide? Because we don't have time to talk.
All of you can do it. Make me a perception check as you look for a place to hide.
So
Is
I'm
it
using my
possible for
eyes.
guidance?
Unless you can think of a way right now
No,
that you
I
could use your
can't.
nose.
I was
You
just
can
talking
use guidance.
Okay.
So
Can I guidance him? Because
if you want to, yeah.
Okay.
I
So
don't have that.
okay. So I'll roll a d4.
I trust your D4 better than my D4 right now. And you said it was what, perception?
Yes.
Well, I'm glad I guidance him and not me.
14.
Okay, you see that there's an immediate hiding spot. You could try, if you think you're fast enough, you could try running all the way back up the highest peak, the highest mountain, where you found the Yeti Cave, and you might be able to hide there. You're looking around for any more caves. You don't find any, but what you do find, there is an incredibly large pileup of snow, larger than normal, at the base of a mountain a little bit farther than the one to your immediate left. You assume it's from the avalanche that Parrish had started all those hours ago. You could potentially, while it would be very cold, dig your way into the snow and hide.
I'm gonna run towards the pile of snow.
You do so. What do you two do?
I
Johan will
rolled
get
a
right to you.
7, so I'm
You-
probably gonna
You didn't
my-
see it, but you see him running.
I'm gonna follow my
I
brother.
rolled a 12.
You only noticed the same thing he noticed.
Okay, so I'm just gonna follow suit and do a running prestidigitation myself, clean from the dust from earlier.
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah, can you put some of that on this blood on my shirt? Okay. Oh, thank you.
For a moment, you look into Parrish's cold, sunken, black, dead eyes, and then he's like, "Here."
Back to normal.
All right, you guys dig into the snow. Unless you have some clever idea on how to do so, give me some survival checks. Actually, just
Actually,
make it a
shield.
stealth.
I'm gonna okay shield.
Can I use my shield to like help dig?
Yeah, sure. Digging
And-
isn't going to be a big problem.
Can I
For
be-
some strange reason, I have a belaying pin because I am a sailor. So I'm just gonna be like.
I'm a
shit with the pin.
dog,
Yeah.
so I'm
I'm
gonna
a
dig.
dog.
Yeah.
Dog,
With-
that's
You don't have to
logical.
roll for it. With great ease, you do dig your way in a little trough, and you all pile in, and you use your various powers and strength to basically cover yourselves in a blanket of snow. Now I just need a proper stealth check to see how well you're hiding.
Can I guidance this?
Yes, as can you. It's also very cold.
I'm wondering if
Disadvantage?
because it's
I'm
Not yet.
actually shadow.
But
like if
So,
because it's
I'm
snow, if they do it badly, are they just gonna have like an elbow sticking out or something?
potentially, that's how hiding in snow works.
I got an 18.
18, solid.
24.
24, even solider.
We're gonna guidance yourself.
Just a plain 14.
A 14, still pretty damn good. You guys think you're hidden pretty well, and minutes pass.
Stop
Then
wagging your
half an
tail.
hour passes. A whole. At this point, I think, are you still in werewolf form? Can you stay very long?
It wears off after 10 minutes.
10 minutes. At this point, you are no longer in werewolf form, which is a shame because that was really helping with the cold. So now it's like. You guys,
Lost
after
nipples.
about half an hour,
Oh, no,
you
not
guys hear bump, bump, bump. They're giants outside. Do you do anything or do you lie in wait?
I'm holding my position.
I will also hold my position.
Perish.
I will lay there, dead.
Absolutely. You guys look around in this little trough and you move some of the snow and you're like, Perish, what are you going to? And he's just like,
I'm just gonna whisper in the
We died. I love you. I love you too, brother. But like, don't make this. No, we're gonna die. It's okay.
I love you, no hetero.
Perish, you hear all of this. Well, there's strangely, I don't think your chest is moving in and out. I don't believe it is, right?
It's actually not.
Yeah.
It looks
Ain't
like
that
I'm
funny?
really- it looks like I'm
Perish
really
is
dead.
definitely dead. You don't know how it happened, but Perish is dead. After about an hour, you guys hear some more yelling in Giant, which none of you understand, and then
Quick question: does that count as a short rest if you were laying there for an hour?
the exact opposite. You all have 1 point of exhaustion because you laid in the deep, deep cold.
Yep. First. And how?
Yep.
But the giants do seem to be running away. And now we move to you, Johan. At this point, you've actually made your way towards the south of the city, and you actually made it all the way to the normal exit where there are no longer any guards. As you walk, the entrance to the Dwarven village is 2 semi-small hills within the mountain Alps, and the opening is their main gate. And above the hills, midway through, carved into them and outwards are 2 large statues, not really large, more like gargantuan statues of old dwarven heroes, one with a stone axe, the other with a stone hammer, and they're holding it like this. As you pass under them, where do you head? The last place your party was managed to camp was at the top of the highest peak, where there was a cave with some young, now orphaned yetis.
Now, was I able to see them flee?
No. Well, you saw them flee, but you were not able to see where they went. You just saw that they made, with immense speed, they got the fuck out of there.
Is there a way I could maybe check for tracks to see if I see footsteps or...
Yeah, give me a survival check.
I have an idea. You're not gonna leave.
23.
23. Now, before we find out if there are any
No.
tracks, we're going to move to Hella and Raven.
Are
You...
you gonna play Raven?
Yes.
Okay.
You two are currently hiding, Raven behind you within the bosom of a giantess you do not have the name of. You managed to save her mere moments ago, and you watch as those 3 horrendous cursed giants are just eating just full-on cannibalism, just tearing apart and eating the now fresh corpse of the hill giant from a few moments ago. Now, a number of hill giants had managed to gather around and were watching and cheering this, enjoying the pure spectacle of eating a person. And however, at this point, you watch as in the distance, a building is flying and then crashes. In a couple of moments, more buildings start flying and crashing. and you hear as another hill giant in the distance is yelling something, and all the giants watching this turn around like, "Rah!" And one of them goes like, and they all start shambling away from you, away from the scene, and towards the commotion. Now about 20 minutes have passed. They're still moving forward. You guys seem to be alone. What do you do? Oh, I'm sorry, Parrish, go ahead.
Just to clarify something,
Yeah.
you do realize our entire plan has just gone backwards.
Yeah.
Yeah, funny how that happens.
Yeah.
It literally has worked that way. In fact, if you notice, this is probably around the time your plan did fall through and buildings started to get thrown.
Yeah.
So,
I remember that
What?
moment.
do you do?
Well, attempting to break the chains hasn't worked so far.
It hasn't worked very well. They are still a little loose from your successful efforts, and she's trying to wiggle them out. She could use some sort of help, though.
Is there anything I can do to help her?
Give me, let's see if you can get a font of inspiration. Give me a history check. Or an investigation check. See if you can investigate a way to give aid.
They're turning into a pair of scissors.
I tried that already.
Can I turn into a wrench?
I need the jaws of life to snap those chains.
I mean, you could just turn
Right.
You
into...
can't break these chains.
Investigation?
Mm-hmm.
I'm proficient in that.
You are.
There goes my D20.
What is it?
You were proficient in that.
That counts.
I can't see it.
It's
It's dark.
It's dark and
How dark
musty
is
in
it?
this dungeon.
Literally don't know where.
What's your night vision? Oh, come on.
Ooh.
Here you go, roll this dice in the meantime.
Is it the $70 dice?
No, she doesn't
Uh-oh.
get the $70.
She doesn't deserve $70
I don't
dice.
want bad mojo by letting other people roll during a game.
That's fair. That's fair.
You can
I
reroll
don't
it.
want to re-roll it.
Oh.
I got a nat 20. I don't want to re-roll it.
Re-roll it. It fell.
Hey, wait. Let me roll for my kind. You can keep it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Let me roll for my
Kindness. You went for the effort
When I
to.
looked down there, I was like,
Oh!
It took extra effort for you to go down to get it, so you can keep it.
the effort of me trying to get down to get it without stepping on it because I was just curious.
Absolutely.
Thank fucking God.
So, with a nat 20, you get a look at the situation. There's a few ways. You imagine at first that if any of your magic friends were there, this would be significantly easier. Or if either of your strong boy friends were there, this would also be significantly easier. Your attempt before is probably your best way to do it, only now you see there's more lackness in the chain, so with the aid of the giantess, you could potentially pull out the chain. Or, as you know, your friend Raven has vials of acid with her. You could attempt to corrode the wood.
Wouldn't it be easier to corrode like the link chain?
It would literally be harder.
Okay.
What melts?
You know what?
better
You're-
than metal?
You're figuratively right. No, wait. Nope. She's literally right.
What?
Nothing.
Don't worry about it.
That one went over my head too.
Okay.
Renau, what would you
Good.
like to do?
Oh yeah, as long as we get the post out, then she could kind of just like,
Exactly.
got it. Okay, and then she'll have like chains to whip around, which is
Potentially,
epic.
yeah.
Okay, yeah. No, I'll ask Raven. Hey, can we use that acid you have to help out here?
I mean, I only have so much, and like,
How
Do we
expensive
even-
is acid?
I mean, it's not expensive, but it's hard
I'll
to
buy
get.
you more.
That's what I
I
wanted.
have-
Here we go. Let's do this.
I'm like, I have enough gold. I'll buy you some more.
All right, so you're going to roll for the throw. It's basically the same as any other of your dex attacks, or like a dagger, or like your crossbow, or whatever.
Let me see. Dex is a +5, so.
Yeah.
But I need that +5. Rolled a 7. Yeah, 12.
Fun fact: big things of wood that don't move are not hard to hit. DC was 10, so you're good. Now
Nice.
roll. Let's see. Raven was helping you as well, so roll 4d6 of damage. Let's see how much you can corrode this wood.
I only need to corrode the wood around the area. where
Correct.
it's-
That's where you're throwing it. It is a big area though, and these are tiny vials of acid.
All right, I've got a 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. 12 plus 6.
Okay, yeah, that's going to do it. As the acid slowly erodes, the giantess, not quite knowing exactly what you're doing, puts her arm there as she's struggling and goes, ah! But the acid erodes away the wood. The space between the chained links grows smaller and smaller, and after a couple of minutes, her arm comes out. She pulls down the chains. Now she's working on, she immediately rushes to work on the other ones. And as she pulls the chains off, she stands up, her leg a little limp from the pain. But as she stands up with the chains, she stretches out her legs, her arms, and goes, free at last!
Go, girl.
Yeah, and now as soon as you do so, she scoops both of you up, and she runs the fuck away.
To freedom!
Yeah. Now she's running away from where the buildings were being thrown. Do you want that?
Away from where the buildings are being thrown.
Correct.
So
So wait,
Away from where your friends
away
might
from
be
where
getting
the
hurt.
buildings are landing, or away from the people throwing them.
Both.
Away from the people. And
Both.
both.
So just like that whole situation's going on.
Yeah, if that situation
We're
is
going
happening
this way.
on, let's say, the northeast, and you guys are currently on the west, she's trying to head south.
Northeast. She's going
South.
south. Okay. Where are they?
As far as you know, where the buildings are being thrown.
the question is, how much do you really care?
Well, we wanted to reconvene at the cave.
That was the hope. But the cave is definitely where those buildings are being thrown.
Fuck, I don't know where to even tell her to go.
Yeah, Raven says, fuck them, we'll find new friends, let's go. I just decided that for Raven.
I mean,
Just a heads up, the person who played Raven did say that she still hates everybody.
Oh, that's true, she did.
So, you know, this
I
this-
kept
this
that
is
in
character.
mind. Yeah, I kept that in
I'm
mind.
gonna I wanted to ask where are you guys right now, but I can't.
You have no way of knowing that.
No, I know.
Yeah. And at no point has anyone sent you a message.
Yeah, I mean, that would be a great idea, but who would do... Wait a minute.
So I'm going to need now the moment of true colors. Do you leave hoping your friends are safe, possibly abandoning them? Or do you, try to convince the giantess to run the other direction?
And I mean, no one's sending me a message.
Correct.
Not
So
this
I
moment.
You do see there is still a commotion happening. Well, actually, at this point, there is a significantly less commotion happening. The buildings aren't being thrown, but a large number of giants you can see in the distance from your new height advantage being on her shoulder.
Did you see the giant flame pillar?
Not at this point.
So what were you saying about being
Uh,
able to see on her shoulder?
On her shoulders, with the height advantage, you are able to ascertain that there are a large number of giants fanning out in that area, potentially searching for something. So they're not immediately in combat. They are searching for something, though.
I would think that.
Raven says, fuck it, let's run, they'll be fine.
See, I'm thinking, what if they're searching for us? Like, well, for the giantess because she just screamed.
That is very clearly not what's happening right now. Perhaps they didn't hear
Is
it.
clear?
Yes, because
Like, to me.
Yes, it's clear to you because you're looking at them far in the distance, searching around like this.
Oh, okay.
Far in the
Okay.
distance. They're not like, ah! They're like,
Got it.
"Grrr." So fight or flee.
I would say to her, like, get us somewhere safe, like, just to hide out until things die down.
She,
But in as simple words as possible.
yeah,
because I
you
know she's
you do
clearly
so.
coming.
She's starting a slow run, and she turns to you and she goes, "Crack, crack, no poop." And as she starts to run, she then stops as one of the cursed, diseased-looking giants start running away from their feet and trying to swipe at her, and they're being pulled off by the chain. She stops for a moment, looks at them. She runs towards the small gated area, pulls off a piece of wood, throws it at one of them. It hits him right in the eye, and it goes, ah! He's bleeding a bit, and she goes, fuck, ah! And then she she jumps over the gate, runs up to one of the sleeping goats, picks up the sleeping goat, holds their hand over the mouth. It's now awake and thrashing about, but it can't fight against her. And now she's running full speed towards the south, towards the exit of this city, and she's yelling something at the distance, and she's yelling like, "Grah, grah!" And then she switches to common, and she goes, fuck your shit! And she runs the fuck away. And now you, Johan,
She just
Stole a goat.
She just
She
stole
stole a
and
goat.
left them?
a giant goat.
A giant goat and left them?
No, on the
Oh,
shoulders.
Okay, cool.
Yeah.
Wait,
Good.
so I'm on her shoulder and,
And
there's
she-
a goat on the other shoulder.
Yep, thrashing about, hand over its mouth, and she just turns to the whole city, and she's like, fuck your shits. And she runs off.
Okay, when,
I like
when
it.
you said that thing, when she said something, I was like, that sounds like a fuck you. And I was like, it
You mean the
was.
no poop? That was...
No,
Yeah.
not the,
The one
not
where
the-
she looked back.
Yeah.
Ah.
It was
Yeah.
a big fuck you.
Yeah.
And
It was
she,
like
in fact,
context.
if you want, make a little perception check to see where she's looking.
Say who is she saying fuck you to?
Where she's looking, anyway.
Oh, okay.
Possibly who she's saying it to.
That was, what was it?
Perception.
Perception. Plus 5. So 8 plus 5.
Yeah, that's good
13?
enough. 13, yeah, that's good enough. You see she's looking at the large building with a massive hole in it atop the vast staircase on the side of the hill, where clearly someone like a head of state would live in this village normally, but with, a big-ass hole in it. She looks towards that as she gives her last fucking goodbyes and runs away. And now we go back to you, Johan. As you look upon the ground, you see very big, giant footsteps leading from out of the village, away from the conflict, and towards the largest mountain where you were planning on going to hide.
Alright.
What do you do?
I'm gonna follow it.
You follow it. It leads all the way up to the up the mountain peak, and the footprints do. And you see that they're leading all the way up. That they're slowly as the snow rains and blankets the earth. They're starting to slowly get filled up. But you see that it's leading up to the peak. And as you pass by the mountain, you see that it did a little curve and then went back.
Okay. Now, can I see any of my friends' tracks? Or just the giants?
Maybe give me another perception check.
Perception?
Yeah.
Okay, is that a 0?
That looks like a 0.
Come on.
You're not.
10.
A 10. That's good enough. As you get closer up, this whole way, no, you don't see
Your perception is plus 5.
Oh.
15, even better. You don't see any of your friends' footsteps. But as the footsteps get closer to the cave where you were hiding, you do see smaller footprints now leading into the cave. It's like giant, curve, giant, a couple of small ones, into the cave, and the giant goes upwards.
Okay. I don't see any giants right now, correct?
No,
Nothing.
you
Okay.
don't.
So I go into that where the small tracks.
You
went to.
enter into the cave area, and there, Hella and Raven, you see your friend Johan in not fancy, but new woven coats walk into the cave.
Patchwork woven coats.
Wait, what?
Patchwork.
Yeah,
Remember
patchwork.
you said sloppily.
Correct, it is patchwork.
Yeah.
It's not an artisan made it, but it was made. And as he walked, you know that your new potential ally dropped you off here and said they were going to hide beyond the mountain peak. And now Johan is with you. And I'll say about an hour has passed. While you guys are having your reunion, what are you three doing?
Trying to keep warm.
That one called.
Thaumaturgy.
Does it increase heat at all?
Not thaumaturgy, but the other one does.
Does he have that?
I believe you do. You used it to clean up.
So can he use that to keep us
Prestidigitation
warm?
creates
Yes.
heat.
Not enough heat that it's kind of like a hand warmer when you're in like outside in like a snowstorm. It feels nice and it helps a little, but it's not really gonna keep you warm. You need a full fire.
Gotcha.
But it's definitely, it would feel
Well,
nice.
The footsteps disappeared already, right?
You don't hear anything, correct?
Do we risk it? Do we risk it for the biscuit?
I'm gonna listen real hard
Yeah,
and make a perception.
and I believe you have advantage.
I hope so.
What do your special elven wolf-like ears tell you?
Alright, so we got a 9.
No, like I'm in a cow outfit.
12?
You're a patchwork.
12 with advantage? Liking it. You don't hear anything.
Oh, wait, guidance. I'm guidance.
Okay, guidance.
D4.
16.
You don't hear anything.
Good.
I
Okay,
think
I'm down for it.
I'm gonna peek my head out like Mohawk.
Yeah. Mohawk Zeke just kind of Bugs Bunnies his way up, and he's like, no. No. And you don't see any giants around.
Okay, I'm gonna just jump out and start running.
I'm gonna just like from laying down position, look at that, push myself up and start running with like, where are we going?
Yeah, you're just like, whoa! And now, Parrish, you're dead. Not really. Not really, but you're very
We should
cold.
bring it back.
So I get up.
Yeah.
Zombie?
I see where they're going, and my first instinct is first I want to find like a branch or something.
Okay.
On the way.
Give me a survival check.
You want to be on a branch?
Find a loose branch.
We heard you say you need to
I'm thinking
pee.
of like a
That's why-
branch on the ground.
Yeah.
There, you could be on a tree, but you
18.
choose to be on
Yeah,
a
you
random
find a
branch
big
on the
branch. You find some trees.
Okay. I take one of the loose branches while I'm following them. And
Yeah.
I follow them and I light it with prestidigitation.
Okay. Yeah, easy enough. That's fine. You now
Keep myself
have
warm while I-
now have a fire in the dark as snow.
I'm gonna look at it as like turn off the fire if you can see the fire.
Parrish, I love you, and I like being.
Now, I will say, I
but-
don't think you guys believe anyone's close enough that they could see that, especially because the snow is starting to fall down.
Okay.
And quite frankly, you guys can, even with your dark vision, because it's physical snow in front of you, it's actually pretty hard to see. The light helps quite a bit, and the heat is very welcomed in your exhausted state.
Let's go back to that cave with the Yetis.
Okay.
We're gonna hug them.
Okay.
They're
Yeah.
furry.
About 20 minutes in, you guys low to the ground, snow covering your position. A few times, almost fearing that in the shadows you saw the figure of giant men, only to be proven wrong as clouds moved around you. You make your way back up the mountain with the stick of the fire keeping you slightly warm. And now you're all in the same cave together at roughly around the same time for literary convenience.
For literary for convenience, perfect.
No, literary convenience.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So for the sense of because we need it, I'm gonna hand the torch to someone. I have dark vision.
Yeah.
I'm
You don't.
like,
Oh yeah,
okay.
you do have dark vision. Yeah.
Yeah, I have 120 feet.
Yeah, you do.
I got a lot. of
I
dark
also
vision.
have dark vision.
So I'm gonna.
But only 60 feet.
Yeah. So I'm gonna hand the torch to someone. I was like, I'm gonna get more wood.
Who doesn't have dark vision in our group?
I
Don?
don't.
Also, Raven doesn't.
Wow.
The normies.
Five.
How
Dark
dare
vision
you.
squad.
How dare you.
So I go out
We're
to
the
find,
Cobra
more,
Dogs.
to find more wood.
Well, this normie has a nice
You look comfy.
fur coat.
Some wood and maybe dig out some dry grass. Oh well, that's not gonna.
He was gonna stop for a second. Like, wait a minute. When did you get pelts?
Weren't you supposed to be with us?
And I pose like that's like.
When?
Yeah.
Also, where were you?
Listen, I took a long
Hold
turn.
on.
Look, guys, could we maybe start that fire? It's getting cold.
I'm already
You know
out
what?
looking for
I'm
wood.
gonna look for the Yetis. Like, where
You
are
do
they?
so. They are in the back. Raven is currently using one of them as a source of warmth.
I'm gonna go
Clarify.
hug them to see.
Do
Not
have-
hugging. It's hugging her back.
Oh,
To
I'm gonna
clarify, because we haven't clarified this, if
Yeah.
they're still with the giant that we have no idea.
No.
They are
we
currently
clarified.
not. In fact, you're in a
Please
small
separate.
cave that a giant couldn't possibly be there. And I'll say you guys couldn't have seen any of giant tracks either.
Because of the snow.
Correct.
Okay, so we know nothing about it. Got it. Yeah. So
The
get
giant
firewood.
is currently hiding somewhere else.
Not that Keelam knows it yet.
What?
Not that
Not that
Keelam
we
knows
know.
it yet.
No, yeah.
Yeah,
I'm
yeah,
saying
yeah,
like
yeah.
outside as
Oh, yeah.
like listening to his things that he did say that the giant went across the field.
I'm gonna go in the deepest corner of the cave.
Yeah.
And just hold myself for warmth.
I'm
Yeah,
gonna
you
be
do
like, take a Yeti, and I'll grab the nearest free Yeti and
You
give
do.
it a hug, and then go to. Is that warm enough?
Yeah, it's shaking, not from the cold, but from anxiety. But as you hold it tight, it like looks a little bit moment, looks up to
I'm
you,
gonna give it
looks
some
down.
ration.
It like, yeah, you do so. It like, and then it like hugs you kind of like an orangutan and tries to hold you close.
Okay,
And
that's
it's
fine.
very warming.
It's like, guys, who needs a fire?
I pull out a ration.
You find a Yeti?
Yeah, I'm like,
Give me an animal handling check.
I fed them.
Let's see
earlier.
if life is nice to Zeke.
20.
Yeah.
30.
Yeah, they're eating out of the palm of your hands, quite literally, and you are holding him steady, and you feel, despite its holding something so frail and tiny, it gives you a sense of not quite comfort, but of closure, of sort of serenity, like almost like holding this thing makes you suddenly feel safe.
Motherly.
I'm gonna go to sleep.
Where's Mom?
Does Zeke cry while he sleeps?
I am.
Just a little bit.
I lost a lover, and now this is reminding me of mom. No, I can't handle that.
Just I'm gonna sob silently. Only the Yeti can hear me.
I'm gonna take off my fur coat
You do so?
and I'm gonna give it to Raven.
Yeah. Raven goes like, oh, finally, and wraps it around
So
herself.
she also has a Yeti on her back.
I need this more.
Oh, okay.
So am I good to heal up? Because I'm at 60 HP.
Yeah, if you guys want to just talk solemnly without saying anything about your adventures, you know, that good old-fashioned, I call it PTSD sleep. You can go ahead and start.
Okay, after I silently sob to the Yeti, I turn my head before I go to sleep and I go, XYZ, this is what happened. No. We were trying to get in the cave and then we stepped on a
I
twig.
had a boyfriend, and he died.
Kellum thought he had a boyfriend.
Thought.
Yes, you are one. So anyway,
As you say that, like the little monkey's orangutan style, like stroking. Do you have a little beard?
no, I'm
Okay, then it's just stroking your cheek, trying to get into your hair. Keelam, though it's trying to like crawl into your arms as you're crying.
That's fine. I'll be like,
Yeah.
let's go. They don't know.
Sympathy Yetis.
Sympathy, Yeti.
And we're going to sleep.
yeah, I mean, we're just catching up. Where were you, bro? What are you, a coward?
So no, how dare you?
Hiding in a house?
I took a wrong turn. I thought I was gonna follow you guys, but
Uh-huh.
you know how it goes.
Right, so you
GPS
saw...
hasn't
Johan,
been
you're
yet.
pretty sure you were leading the pack. They didn't follow you.
So you just saw like 8 billion giants and you decided to go the opposite direction?
It's called
I mean-
smart maneuvering.
Yeah.
It's
Smart
called
maneuvering.
being a coward.
No.
I would know what being a coward is, okay?
Tell you what, because it seemed like I was hiding, I'll take first watch.
Sounds good.
You guys just take a nap.
Gladly, thank you.
Raven's like, seen some things, tell you in the morning, and goes to sleep.
I'm adopting this Yeti.
We already talked about it. They can't survive in the warm climate.
They literally did talk about it though.
I'm adopting him for the night.
Back to...
So, if you guys all go to sleep, you take the first watch. Give me a perception check. By the way, are you keeping a fire up?
Our things.
Yeah, in a moment. First, I need to know, is there fire being
In the
kept up?
deepest part of the cave.
Then absolutely. It is very smoky, though, with the kind of dry... Actually, the wood wouldn't be dry because there's snow everywhere. So it's still a little smoky, but you guys are kind of used to it. You guys sleep actually a little
Well,
closer to the mouth to get away from the smoke.
Vegetation on the wood, so
While you're asleep?
You can't do that.
I mean, beforehand.
Okay.
Oh, okay.
Because I collected the wood.
Very
The
well.
wood good for fire.
Yeah, all right, fair enough. So you do so. There's not a lot of smoke now, and because of the fire, yes, you guys can. You guys will not lose another exhaustion, and or rather, you won't gain another exhaustion, and you lose the one you have.
Oh my god. I was like, are we still
The cave itself, like where they are, is it like a dead end, or is it just like?
Yes, it's a dead end. You go up to the mouth of the cave. Up to the end of the cave. You see there's some stalactites up above. You like knock on the stone a little bit. There's no misshapen, like there's no misplaced. There's no misplaced rock to suggest a cave in. It seems like this is just a small cave on the side of a mountain.
So there's
You
only
seem-
one way in. That's it. Just,
Correct. Other than digging, that is very true.
Okay.
You figure maybe there is more upon this giant crest and fault-covered mountain, but this is the one you guys found, and it's the one that's been most useful.
I'll walk towards
The mouth?
the entrance of the mouth. Okay.
Yeah, it's hard to look outward as the blizzard rages. Give me a perception check with disadvantage.
Alright. 14.
A 14. You look onward, calm and serene.
I should enjoy it.
Yeah. After a moment, you almost forget that there are giants tracking you, and you find peace within this eye of the storm. A few times, you think you hear movement in the distance, and a few times, you almost think that they might be coming, but you steel yourself. And you hear within you, danger does not approach this way, my young. And your watch ends. Who's taking next watch?
I'll take next watch.
Very well. So you solemnly shake Parrish awake, his body colder than even your own, his chest not moving, his eyes sunken. Every time you look at this guy's sleep, it's like, is he dead? But he wakes up same as ever.
I slap him first. Just wake him up.
Wow.
Wow.
He
Okay.
wants to be safe. I understand.
Yeah.
Fair. So,
All right.
Look,
So
good.
I'm alive.
All right, just making sure. That's all. It's a
All right.
friendly slap. You're good.
All right, and then I just throw a blanket on him and go to
All
sleep.
right.
And I go out and I take the position, and I'm like,
Yeah.
watch.
and you do so. Give me perception with disadvantage. This blizzard is raging.
Guidance.
Yeah.
Oh, we gotta roll second one. 1, 2, 5, 17.
17. All right, yeah. It's not peaceful in your mind. You see the rushing snow, the raging winds. You look upon the bloodstain at the edge of the cave where you figured the young Yeti's mother must have been slain. You look upon all the evils of the world, and it weighs a little heavily upon your mind. You think of the past. You think of rougher times. But your night ends without much to say. No action taken hold, no giants marching up the mountain. Who takes the last watch?
Oh,
Very
I'll take the
good.
last watch.
Okay.
As I go back to sleep, I just like walk over to the other brother.
I put my hand on his shoulder as we're switching, and I go, "Give me some guidance."
What does this guidance look like? Is it like funny advice or something?
Actually, you know what? Let's do this. Apples are red, but
Thanks.
sometimes they're also green.
Thanks.
Watch out for the differences. They
Thanks.
taste.
Thanks. I give him the Yeti.
You do so.
I'll be back.
As I take the Yeti, you just see me go.
Yeah.
Heavy.
Yeah, so as he slumps over and tries to fall back asleep, you wake up, you clean yourself off a bit, you walk up to the wet part of the mouth of the cave where snow is starting to melt from the warmth of your fire. You notice that there's a lot of drool on your left breast where you're... Did you sleep with a shirt? No. Yeah, it's just on your left breast where apparently the Yeti was trying to suckle.
Oh,
By the way, I'm gonna walk over to the.
Fire? To the Yeti? To Keelan?
Keelam,
Oh, okay.
and I slowly place the other one on top.
Yeah. It
And
like...
then I take my ring back.
You take the ring back. It stirs slightly in its sleep, and as Keelam stirs with it, now Keelam, you do the move where you,
I
and
now
then
have
you,
two.
yeah, you now have two, and you just go back to sleep. So,
I'm gonna sit. I'm gonna put my scythe down.
Uh-huh.
I'm gonna fix my mohawk. I'm gonna sit pretzel style, and I'm gonna close my eyes, and I'm gonna listen to the blizzard. And
Yeah.
I'm gonna take a deep whiff, since we've been fighting giants all day. I'm gonna smell for them.
okay, give me a perception with advantage.
13.
With advantage? Okay. You sit upon the
Yeah,
cold.
Guidance.
Oh, okay, yeah.
Because apples can be green.
16.
16. Those apples really can be green on the... They say that apples are greener on the other side, but I say that can't quite be. Anyway, you sit down cross-legged on the cold, damp stone where the snow meets and starts to melt. You get that sort of uncomfortableness, but you shrug it off as you close your eyes. With your sight gone, you find yourself in a deep darkness. You feel every muscle, every cell within your bloodstream move. Your senses start to heighten. You breathe in and you breathe out. You breathe in and you breathe out. The anxieties and the wariness of the battles today, every possible moment where you could have died, weighs heavily upon your mind. And as the anxieties grow, you feel something. The snow starts to stop. The winds start to dissipate. Your senses heighten to a point where you no longer even notice them. You notice the ruffling of some form of lone animal, perhaps wolves, far in the distance. You smell the dirt upon what could only be perhaps prey's fur as they move through the snow to your south, and you hear every thump, every movement, every growling and complaint of the giants that must be fanning out the area looking for you. Every moment you feel them getting closer and closer, until finally you almost see the shadow upon past the snow in your mind's eye. But as you open them, you see nothing. You turn your head left and right. You focus back upon your ears. There are no smelly giants coming closer to you this evening. And as the snow starts to lessen, the sun starts to rise. What do you all do on this new day?
I'm gonna wake up Keelan.
You do so.
I'm gonna shove him. Can I?
Sorry, go ahead.
I actually had a question for you.
Yeah, please.
Yeah, I'll make bread.
Because they're not in the manual, but is a giant mole an option?
A giant mole? Yeah, absolutely.
I have a plan, guys.
Can I have bread first?
Yeah, I'll make some bread. I'm gonna just sleepily make bread, and I'm gonna teach the Yetis how to make bread.
Okay. Raven looks out at the mouth of the cave and says, I see some giants are coming back. And as if any of you look out, as she points out, a number of giants being led by that same female stone giant are heading back into the city from what could only have been a long night of searching. And as
directly
they...
towards us?
Wait, not towards you. They're nowhere near you. They're
Thank
down
God.
the mountain path heading back into the
So
city.
they captured her again.
A plus.
Nope.
Different group.
Different group.
Oh, remember the one that hit us with a building was the stone
female
giant that was really big and a female.
Yeah.
That
In
was
fact,
like the-
on that note, as you start trying to... Do you cook or just warm up bread?
just warm up. I'm pretty sure.
Yeah,
we have
as
some-
you're warming up some bread and that nice smell starts to fill the air, you all hear a large as the cave starts to rumble and a couple of stalactites fall, and then you hear as you see large mounds of snow start to fall down from above you, and then suddenly a giant eye is looking within the cave as a large female face, slightly bruised up here and there, is looking into the cave,
I
and
pick
she
up my
yells,
scythe.
you do so. Yeah, you both do so, and as you
I pick up
guys
my bread.
as you guys ready your
I yell out,
instruments of death and fatness, you hear in this weird voice, "Grr, little folk, all right."
Do you want bread?
I yell out, confusion!
You do so, and then she yells out, "Not enough bread. Me have goat." And then you just see a mangled, partly bitten up, neck-snapped goat fall in front of the mountain cave.
Oh.
Would little folk like goat?
Can we get first?
You could attempt. It's she bit right into it, so it's a little hard. But you could attempt to get some fur off this goat. Yeah.
I will try to get some fur and also butcher the thing.
Is anyone else cold?
Raven says, "Fuck yes, get that fire back up." And
I start playing with sticks.
Survival, right?
yeah, survival. Yeah.
I have a good survival.
Congratulations.
Oh, even if... Oh, actually, no, it's still good. You know what number this is now? 17. Yeah.
Well, it was a giant goat, so I'm sure you could cut off a bit here and there. That
Yeah,
would
I'm not
cover you.
taking all of it.
No, I'm saying if you had a cloak, your shirt wouldn't.
Alright, I can make tassels out of fur.
Nipple tassels.
No.
Daisies.
But it's an option. I meant your shirts always rip off. You can have a cloak because when you turn into a wolf form,
It'll
it'll
just
kind
fall
of
off.
just slip off your shoulders.
You could take mine.
Or it would just, if
And
you
it
wrapped it
would
around
keep
your
your-
neck, it would just stay on.
Yeah, no, that's the same.
How do I do with the 17?
A 17. You successfully skin the goat. You've got its furs. There's parts of the furs that were ripped off because of where she literally bit it off. So it's more like you have a big pile of fur and then like a little pile of fur, but almost professionally well done on the fur. As for cutting up the meat, that's the easy
I
part.
didn't want to do a lot.
Oh.
We keep most of it for her, and then just some for us today.
Gotcha. Well, as far as the fur
And some
goes,
for
there's not
kids.
going to be enough for her, but you guys could probably keep it.
We're keeping it for her.
As far as the meat goes, you do what you need to do. You debone it. You try to set it on fire.
So I had a question about the mine that we were talking about.
Yeah.
So we understand there's a staircase that leads there.
No.
Oh, it's just a door?
Correct. So you're actually thinking of two different places.
Oh, I know.
Upon-
I know now.
yes.
I see what you mean.
And both are behind very large cavernous areas. So
So-
digging would be possible, but time-consuming.
Okay.
Is
That's why-
if that's what you were thinking.
Yeah, that's what I'm thinking. I'm thinking we can go 2 giant moles.
Possible, just time-consuming.
I agree, but it's better than going all in.
I don't even know what's the goal? Save
Uh,
dwarves?
So
I'm cold.
Are you cold, buddy?
Yes.
it's probably
See that fur coat
Yes.
that Raven has?
Yes.
You can try to get it from her.
Hey Raven, can I borrow the code?
She gives you the Yeti.
I give it a ration.
You do
And
so.
I hold it.
Yeah, you do so. As she sees that, she goes, "Gra, little Greek, Greek."
No,
Anyone can make an
I'm
insight
not,
check.
I'm not Greek.
I'll make an insight check.
You might be Greek. You don't
How
know.
many? Just one.
Just one. Well, 2 people can. You can.
I
do
want
it.
it.
All right. All right.
You can have it.
My
Oh,
passive insight is 17.
That would be good enough, actually.
Okay.
I have a 5 total.
Well, my passive insight's also. Oh wait, how's it? Oh, forget it.
Yeah.
What's
So
the slide?
you assume Greek must be giant for cold. So she's saying
Greek.
little cold.
Greek.
You hear a ripping sound, and she passes you some woven patched work. It was a part of her sleeve, but for you, it's clearly more of a blanket. And as she steps back a little bit, you see now she's wearing something she wasn't wearing before. She's wearing some large coats, some large clothes of the patchwork wolves that the other giants were wearing. And with her passive insight and probably decent perception, I'll say you see that those, it's frostbitten now, but there's some blood on those.
fair game.
She killed him. Killed quite a bit. Quite. I'm like cold. I'm in the blank. She killed quite a bit of people.
No Greek. No Greek.
No Greek.
Good.
I'm
Greek
gonna
means
write.
kill or
I'm
Cold.
Greek means cold.
cold.
I'm gonna slowly learn giant.
Is she still above us or she's in the cave?
She can't fit in the cave,
So
but
she's
she's outside of the cave, slow to the ground in kind of an Indian sitting style, with crossed legs and stuff.
I imagine it's kind of like if you peeked into a hole in a tree and you were having a conversation with a squirrel.
Absolutely.
How's the weather outside?
The snow has stopped.
Okay, so clear. Just
Yeah, it's not totally clear. There's still a lot of clouds blanketing out the sun, so it's still kind of a darker day. But the sun is breaking through at some parts, and it's not currently snowing, so it's easier to see.
all right, guys. What are we gonna do?
say-
Well, our objective was to save dwarves.
Well, that apparently is not gonna be.
Draw, little people.
Little people. Save the little people. What
Right.
does draw mean? I say to her.
Probably with your insight, maybe you assume that probably means yes, little people.
Slowly learning.
So Greek means cold.
Yep.
Okay.
You might want to take notes of your own language.
Oh, don't worry.
Draw.
I
Is it
already
draw?
built
Yeah.
it. No, I'm just
Means
kidding.
yeah.
Yes.
All right, so I'm gonna put the proposal on the table. I say we dig into the tunnel. Into the mine.
I have questions for the goddess, and I point at the giantess.
Well, we just learned a lot about Zeke today.
Miss, don't touch me. Miss, what's your name? You fell in love with a troll. Miss, what's your name?
Yeah, and as you look upon this
He was
giant,
an ogre.
she's a bit portly, a bit of meat on those bones, but not the giant mounds of other hill giants. She's got deep dark hair that bangs that go about over to her ears and such. She's almost conventionally attractive. And as you say that, she goes, Greg, give me a performance check, actually, as you try to explain what you're saying with body language, not knowing what as much as she can
I
understand.
wish to give advantage with wingman.
Okay, what's that spell?
I'm trying to wingman.
I know you are.
What's that spell?
Yeah,
Can I guidance him?
you can guidance
You
him,
guys, I'm giving you the advantage.
but I want an explanation on how you're
How
wingmanning.
would you help me?
Yeah.
I'm going to.
Are you going to offer her a drink and be like, "Let me tell you, he just went through this tough breakup."
My guidance for him is what's it called? women like confident people?
I try to puff out my chest. but
Your
I'm
back
under-
immediately straightens.
But I'm
Look at
under a
you.
huge blanket.
Scratch
so-
that. People like confident people.
I don't like people. Goddess, not a person.
True.
A goddess.
Goddess is like.
Although it's a
confident
lie, I'm
people.
gonna be like, that guy's the leader of the party.
Yeah, you do that.
You said
And
that.
and as you go like, she's like,
Who the fuck are you?
Oh my god. Oh, that's all.
Just point at him,
What was
leader.
your guidance?
3.
Okay, 7.
7 plus numbers.
Performance.
Excuse me.
Maybe I should be the
9.
9. What was the question again?
What's your name?
She, okay, I'll roll for her. She understands a little bit of this language. So, oh, okay. She goes, da. Just a moment. Yeah, she's right over here. Not quite, over here. She goes, me, Casus.
Casus. How do you spell?
Casus is not what she says.
Right. Awesome.
She just spells it for us. Ah, yes. In common tongue. C-A-S-U-S.
Yes.
Yes.
I put Casus Giantess.
The
Quotation,
universal
love-
language, English.
Love interest quotation marks.
I hear you've been reborn into a different world. You just so happen to speak our common
I'm
language.
gonna, Jesus, why were you? And wait, actually, can I assume we all filled each other in
For what?
about our adventures from the previous day?
Yes.
Dope.
Jesus, why were you in chains?
Grata, mom grew Tishka Kurni, take little folk Krant, and she points at like the village Krant, take little folk Krant, and you see she's having a pretty difficult time trying to convey her side of the story, while having an easier time slightly trying to understand Common. Does anyone have any potential tricks that they would like to try to better understand her?
Drawing. You could draw a picture.
Potentially.
I
Have her draw.
I have mimicry, but that wouldn't.
That would mean you would be able to very much impersonate her without knowing the
Yeah.
language, but no, that's not going to work.
Does anyone have like comprehend tongues? or-
I think you have the thought thing that can help you.
I
don't have
use detect thoughts.
Oh, you do you? Okay, so with that, we're going to take a short break as we begin to counsel with Casus. Welcome back, everyone, to Dungeons and Ducks. Now, the party is able to interrogate Hesus, the female giantess.
Oh, we're interrogating her?
Well, you know, interrogating, asking a friend a question. At the end of the day, it's the same thing. Sure, yeah. If anything, that might be more pompous.
Just one gets more results.
Oh, wait.
But anyway, what do you guys want to ask Hesus? As Parrish, what do you say to them to indicate now you can understand her?
I can hear your thoughts.
I'm gonna put my arm around him and I'm gonna be like, wingman.
So you were saying you were talking to her.
Well, she wasn't in. So
So I keep listening.
yeah. So I just reiterate my question to her.
Yes, absolutely.
I'm basically the translator.
Kesis, what are they doing with the dwarves? Why are they?
Little folk, yeah. Yeah. Shuka, and you understand, Parrish, in your mind's eye, you start to hear not common or giant, but just understanding, a more ethereal, a more sixth sense like force. What she's saying is, or what she's thinking, are both the same, and essentially it goes down to my mother, Gru, was the chief of the village. Not village, of the tribe. She is leader. She started gathering more giants to attack Dwarven village. The little folk, she was told to attack them by the new Storm King. She was told to attack them so he can take their furnace.
Their furnace?
Yeah, you can make an insight check as Parrish repeats that. Perhaps there's some sort of misunderstanding on her part.
I'm
Oh,
wondering,
no, I just,
is it furnace as in
You can
amount
make an
of
insight
fur?
check.
Okay. So it was just, the word was a little confusing on purpose.
No, she definitely said furnace.
Oh no, I mean like okay, never mind.
Ask who's he.
You ask who's he, like,
Who's the Storm King?
who's the Storm King?
12.
First this. So you think to yourself, furnace, why would the doors... Oh, furnace as in hot metal place. She's talking about their forge. Yes. And you ask who's he, and she goes, and she actually went at one point. She appears to be saying that the new Storm King is a young man. He's gathering the giants to fight against the little folk because the little folk killed his mother. She says, she says he fights for little folk of the east against the little folk of the west.
I
And
make sure
she
to add
says-
like as like an actual
So the little
translation.
folk of the West are
Yeah.
using giants as like weapons?
Opposite. The little folk of the east are using giants as soldiers.
Oh my god.
To fight our kingdom.
Yes.
Do we know what kingdom is to the?
Yes, you do. It's the same kingdom that you're currently at war with. Give me just one moment. Where did I put that one?
I feel like we could just bribe them. Because they're just essentially like mercenaries.
So she says
Well,
the
one of them
new...
was doing for a vengeance thing.
Hold that.
Just
The
mentioned
new Storm King, she says, because you asked, is called Maphos.
Maphos?
Maphos. Mafos. And the kingdom that you're currently at war with is... Give me just another moment. The Holy Kingdom of Shikar.
Cassis, where is the Storm King now?
She doesn't know.
Alright. How did your mother get convinced to side with them?
Okay, she says, And you understand that she just said the new Storm King offered her a husband in the Lord of the Fire Giant Sutar, a handsome man, apparently.
Well,
Cassius.
so I look over. So the reason why, this is how I explain it.
Yeah,
I was like, so the reason why her mother is currently on their side is because she's a thought, and she's looking for a man.
Cassius, why are you not helping your mother?
Little folk. Me no want little folk. And I think that's pretty obvious, but you understand. She's saying I was helping her at first, but they were so cruel to the little folk.
She decided
Didn't want
not to
that.
be a dick. These are my translations.
No, I like it. I like it.
I can't help but feel something's being lost.
I have to teach these Yetis how to bake bread. I'll be back.
Give me an animal handling check.
Oh shit, fine, down. Can I guidance myself?
Yeah, absolutely.
Sweet.
We're gonna learn. These Yetis are gonna learn how to.
Oh
break the bread.
yeah!
Oh
I
boy!
rolled a 27.
Oh! They do not learn how to bake bread. They're
Yeah.
Yetis, but they were going to try and eat it while you attempted to bake them. And
fine.
yeah, you have them pretty well domesticated. It would seem they reach out and you're like, and they're just like, and they now are just watching. You don't get a sense they're understooting, but they
That's
aren't.
why
They're
I'm
watching.
having my own mini section right
Yeah,
now.
yeah,
'cause
you
I
are.
can't do
You
much.
got your boys in the north. Oof.
So our mission was to.
Save the dwarven place and kill as many.
It
giants
wasn't
as
it
possible.
supposed to get something from the Storm King?
Wasn't it to
You
kill
were
something?
so there is legends of an ancient Storm King who floated around in a giant castle that he died supposedly and it crashed here in the Alps. You're supposed to look for that ancient Storm King's castle and find a magical belt that should be somewhere there. This is the new Storm King, however.
Wasn't
So,
there bonus
I'm going.
points if we bring back somebody's head?
Somebody's head.
I thought we were supposed to bring
There's
back somebody's head.
there's extra money if you kill all these giants and solve this situation on your own, but
Okay.
Right.
oh, there is a head dwarf that you're also supposed to
Rescue.
give in. Well, they didn't know he was in need of rescue. There is a head dwarf that you were supposed to meet up with because Gadar wanted him to start making a powerful weapon.
Okay.
Right.
So- At this point, I'm going to ask. We need to go rescue some little people, because at this point, that's pretty much what we're doing. We need to get into that.
But that means we're gonna rescue the little people, and then we have to go find the Storm King.
Hold up, maybe he'll come. We don't know yet. But regardless,
Maybe it's the Storm Queen.
hey,
I'm kidding.
we're not here.
I mean, the giants
I'm
are
beating
destroying the little people.
So
like
as
I'm
I was saying,
destroying
I'm going
the
to ask her.
So, I mean,
Oh, interesting.
You mean orange corn snacks?
Hold that thought.
Yes.
Yep.
We ain't chills. Hold that thought. So as you guys are discussing this amongst yourselves, she seems to have picked up on something you're saying, something along the lines of Storm King come, and she says, "Gri Mofis Gri Gudur," and she's apparently saying, "I don't think Mofis will come himself, but they talked of some after taking the village." They said that he would send more giants to take the furnace.
So,
We're way in over our heads.
She
too
said,
high up for this?
"Oh, hold on." She said, "I believe they would come in 7 days."
I can message her.
7 days
Reinforcements
from when?
incoming from their side.
Reinforcements coming from our side. Didn't we message for reinforcements in 7 days?
Yeah.
Yeah, it's gonna be a shit show. But
She
Also-
says from yesterday.
Okay.
from yesterday.
I'm gonna
So
go message them. Well, after this whole entire
Sure,
interrogation about everything.
Yeah.
so what
Alright.
you're saying is bring more. And also, you know what? I lost my train of thought here. I'm gonna look back over and see if she's repeating it in her head.
Repeating what?
What you just said.
She's not repeating what she's saying in her head, but as you look at her, she is going, skinny one is staring intently. Shorter one is staring even harder. Little folks strange.
I'm gonna look at her like, yeah.
Anyway,
Right.
so basically, he's not going to be around here. This one.
So are we foregoing the mission and focusing on saving the door?
At this point, we have to find it's not even forgiving the mission. Our whole entire point is to fight this guy. So my
It's not to
assumption
fight, it's to find the.
That's what I'm saying.
Yeah.
to find
I will also say that the old Storm King, well, obviously probably related to the new one, is not related to the new one.
Yeah.
You could potentially fix all this and then go about your merry way searching for what you were looking for.
Okay. So I say.
Wait, I'm sorry to interrupt, but if we save all the dwarves, won't we find the dwarf we're looking for?
That's
Yeah.
also true.
We're looking for a dwarf.
We need to evacuate all the dwarves to a safe spot, and then we could just be like, hey, everyone we just saved, by the way, you're welcome.
We need this
Which
guy.
one of you are this guy? We have a message for you.
Parrish puts his hand on his face. Is like, why is everyone stopping me from saying what they're about to say?
Because they prefer to say
You were speaking
Cassis is just om-nomming on the thigh of a goat
You were
and
gonna
goes,
say it, but it just took you so long to say it.
Yeah. You have
Parrish,
to-
what are you trying to say if you're trying to say
Oh
something?
no, I was literally going to say that.
Oh, wow.
And then I got interrupted.
We waited for you, and you're like, I don't know what I'm saying.
Yeah, you lost your train of thought.
I lost my train of thought because I kept getting interrupted.
You were
So-
going-
Raven,
Captain.
drinking, I assume, tea, goes,
It's whiskey. We all know it's whiskey.
I call it the Irish tea,
Ah.
and proceeds to say, we're fucked.
So, Cassis, if we were to save the little people, would you help us?
Dra, gra, green, ga, gra, gra. And she's saying, yes, I do want to help the little people. I don't know how much help you'll be, but you have my thanks for freeing me. We shall definitely help the people.
She said that's what's up.
Oh, so she didn't say anything else, huh?
But what's
She
what's
didn't
up?
say we wouldn't be help or anything?
But what is up?
But yeah, what,
Stalactites. That's what's up.
I pointed to the
Cassis,
ceiling.
What? Why is he?
would
why is
you
she
help
talking about
us
the ceiling?
even if it meant fighting your mother?
Ga, gra, dra. She says, yes, definitely. I will fight Gru. In fact, gra, green, gra, grr,
Your
ga,
mom's
ga.
name is Gru?
Yes,
Yeah.
the mom's name
I
is
have
Gru.
no-
Yes, Gru.
She said
Okay.
Weird, right? She
Yeah,
goes,
no, I thought that was just a thing. Never mind.
Yeah,
I didn't put that as a note.
and she goes, in fact, I would be happy to have your help in killing Gru so I can become the head of tribe. I don't want to have to kill all my people.
I lean on the wall
I,
and I go, I would
We don't
be
know what
happy
she
you
to
don't know what
help.
she said yet.
Come on.
Come on, go, say it.
She said, "Hurt, I got you, fam."
Cool. I lean on the wall and I go,
Somehow the giant language is somehow longer than what they're saying. It's weird.
don't worry, I'm
mean by
inferring that he's cutting a lot of corners.
With your insight, you definitely know he's cutting a lot of
I'm just
corners.
gonna lean on the wall and I'm gonna be like, puff out my chest. I'm gonna be like, I would love to help you.
Give me a, let's see, this would be let's say a persuasion check. Or, yeah, persuasion check to see how well you can charm her right now.
All right, red die. You got it. Come on, red's the color of love.
Yeah.
Help me.
Let's get this $70 roll on the way.
Ooh. Confirmed.
Definitely.
Confirmed. That's 20.
A
Look,
natural 20. Yeah.
I know.
You somehow accidentally step on a rock and push yourself with your chest puffed up a whole foot taller, and you put you flex your muscular arms upon that cave. You tend to think yourself more dexterous, but you are quite a strong lad as well. And somehow there's just a sparkle in your eye, a clearness in your voice, as you with great confidence say that you shall fight along her side. And she bends down and she smiles at you, and she picks you up out of the cave, looks you up and down. She looks out and says, "Gra, greet gra, gra, gra," and puts you on her shoulder to eat some goat with her. And you understand that she said something like, "Thank you, little one. You are clearly an alpha among your people."
that's great.
So how are you gonna translate that?
Yeah, how are you going to translate that, Parrish?
Ooh.
I don't feel like I need you to, but
I
okay.
look over. It's like I look over to him like, you don't need a translation.
And I'm gonna give him the.
I'm gonna look at both
Okay, but
of them
I
like,
need a translation.
but us. You know what? Fuck it. Yetis, let's go eat bread.
Yeah, Keelam, you
Oh,
just
wait a
lost a
second.
lover the other night. How are you feeling watching all this?
That's why I'm making bread with the Yetis.
Oh, okay.
Yeah,
It's
this is
sympathy
my morning
bread.
process.
Yeah.
You guys want some wheat bread?
I feel like you should tell someone your translation. I should hear Zuko's, and then we should compare because you both
I'm
seem
eating
to know
goat.
what's going.
Anyway,
Raven
Yeah,
says
yell
maybe we
now
have.
with a mouthful.
Raven says maybe we have more important things to discuss this
All right.
day. Why am
No,
I?
it's
Wait.
important.
Wait a minute, guys. Why am I faking holding a mug when I have a mug?
Good question.
Oh God.
all right. So I write down the plan. We dig a tunnel, and that's all it says on the paper.
Or we
I'm
go
gonna
into.
start drawing pictures.
Or we go into glorious battle with Casus.
Listen, we can
No.
go into glorious battle.
I'm
down
pretty
for
sure-
it, but we don't have the forces to do so.
I'm pretty sure there'll be something in there. that
Okay,
you
okay,
can
okay,
say.
okay. But also, what if we do dig a tunnel, but they
Oh,
hear
God.
us coming?
How are they hear us
Because
going?
we're
Awful
digging a
hiccup.
tunnel under them.
Ow.
How are they gonna hear?
Tremors.
Maybe if they're sensitive to it.
So we build a tunnel, get the doors to
Plus-
the tunnel.
Can Casus fit
Yeah.
in a tunnel?
If you make it that big, you have a feeling that would make very big tremors. So that's definitely not something Cassis could help you with. Also, on that note, Hella and Johan, give me some perception checks.
14.
14, okay.
19.
19. Okay, Johan, while this is all happening, you hear a voice in the deep realms of your head. You look to your right, and you see appearing at your shoulder the face of a woman you've now seen countless times, a woman you don't know the identity of, but feels so familiar to you. And as she turns to you, she says, "Beware, child. Danger might be approaching." And as for you, Hella, your keen insight in your heightened senses, you hear almost in the faint distance the sound of heavy footfalls and marching. And as you both head to the mouth of the cave and yell for Cassis to lay down and hide, as she does so, you look down and you see two parties of giants. They are not moving towards you. One is moving towards the southeast. The other is moving towards the west. One is headed by that same stone giant woman who threw the building that killed Killam's lover. The other is, with her follows 3 stone giants, and the other is led by 2 stone giants and 2 hill giants. I'm sorry, make that 2 stone giants, 3 hill giants.
I point out the one that killed Killam's lover.
You do so.
Casus.
Yeah.
And I go, I think we need to take her out.
Okay, Kessis looks at that, and she says, Dreamwalker, difficult, they're very strong. And you hear something along the lines of, "I concur. The Dreamwalker is difficult, very strong, easier to take out when separated." She then proceeds to say, "Dreamcra, cra." She says something along the lines of, "One must be a search party for us. The other, I believe, had been planned for a week. A hunting party will be gone for many nights."
So should we wait out for the hunting
Fine.
party to take off?
Which one's gonna be the hunting? Which one's searching for us?
You ask her that, and she says, "Great Gru, not sure."
I think the strong person probably isn't on the hunting party.
The one who killed the lover?
Yeah.
She's probably on the search
I
party.
think the best thing
Yeah,
we
I-
can
Because
do.
she was successful in killing one of the intruders.
You said many
I'm
days,
saying
correct?
we should just
She said many days.
watch which one, which one's.
Oh yeah,
closest
she's
to-
only accompanied by 2 other people.
She's accompanied by 3 other stone giants. The other party has 5 giants in total. 3 of them are hill, 2 of them stone.
That's probably the hunting party.
And there are still a large number of of hill giants within the city as well. Give me some 2 people. Give me some perception checks
I got
as
one.
you look
I got
upon
one.
the new day.
Actually, no. You want one?
I'll take it.
Go for it. I guidance him.
Yeah, okay.
21.
21, very
Plus
good.
two.
16.
16, very nice. So, along with the 3 other cursed looking giants, the diseased ones that are roaming about, still thrashing at anything moving, there's easily up to 10, maybe 11 hill giants still moving about in the city. There are no more stone giants you can see. From up here, they look very much like ants, but you think you see a larger number, at least another dozen or so, ogres, maybe trolls as well, walking about the city. It's still heavily fortified from what you can see. Or if nothing else, it is still heavily occupied. But now you see the dwarves being led out of the mines. You see them walking about, being led either by rope or chain or just force. You can't see what they look like, but they're definitely working on things. Some of them are working on houses, but more of them are working either with metals. They seem to be either making some sort of misshapen armor, perhaps for the hill giants. And a lot of them are working with trees, making some forms of spears or arrows, again, for either the giants or the ogres. They seem to be working on multiple sizes. You see many hill giants uprooting trees and bringing them for the dwarves, who are looked upon by the ogres to start to work. You watch this for about an hour and a half or so. The 2 parties have now split off and gotten a decent distance away from the village, but now you have a better understanding of where the dwarves stand and what they're being used for.
How far is the search
All right.
party from us?
From you, Miles,
It's been an hour, and they
Okay.
walk really fast.
and you started off miles upon miles away from the village. You're not at the peak, but you're midway through the tallest mountain in the world.
Okay. I suggest we set up where they left. We set up a trap a few miles closer, and we on the search party's way back, we ambush them. We set up a trap. I say we dig a hole. For some reason, I'm stuck on a hole for some reason, and I'm going to line it up with all the oil I have, and then I'll light it when they fall in. We'll set up a net. We all have rope. We could cover up in snow.
How much oil do you have?
And how much net do you have?
How much net
And
do you
like,
have?
how
Is
do
it-
No, that's why I said we all have rope. We'd all have to use rope.
Well, we have to continue this. You have to make a hole deep enough to fit giants that has enough oil to keep the giants in
And
there,
they have to walk over the hole.
and they have to walk over the hole, and you also have to set the hole on fire.
We could cover the bottom of the hole with kindling. And then,
I don't-
you know,
I would
let's
ar-
clarify.
Blaze
I
oil.
can create materials.
That's true. However, you can't create a giant net, so you would have to create a
No, the
large amount
rope.
of
The rope is the thing I was saying. We would all have to use something to build this,
Yeah.
or
That's
to build something to cover
Okay.
something on top of it.
It's potentially possible.
I can create. I can easily create.
I wanted to take a look at the dwarves that are being labored right now, and I wanted to see how heavy the security is.
Okay, it's very difficult unless you were either able to A, get closer, or B, have some sort of magical way of looking closer, which
Investigation?
one of you, as you know from yesterday, does technically have.
Johan, could you send one of your bird things, spirits, to take a look at the surveillance, the security around the dwarves?
I could. But there's a certain amount of distance I can only do it.
Okay, that's fine.
You could do a whole mile,
Yeah,
Oh,
and you
that's
could
nice.
be over them, so it's at least closer.
I had to get close.
Okay, I mean we can move up.
I mean, I
Alright,
could
wait,
always.
I'm going by myself. I'll go by myself. It's okay.
I don't.
Parrish, you were saying?
I could polymorph into a giant bird of some sort. And
I wouldn't want.
Or
you
a tiny bird.
or a tiny bird.
I wouldn't want you to use a
Polymorph
spell
spells.
slot.
That's very expensive.
Yeah, it's an expensive spell to use.
I mean, I'll move up with you. I'll, if
Alright? You could do that.
Okay, yeah. So how far down do you want to move up? You're easily a dozen miles away from this village above. How far down would you like to go? Keep in mind as well, while you can only send your spirit about a mile, you can send it in the air, so that's still, you're able to look down, get that bird's eye view and stuff.
And birds have good view. They have good eyes.
Alright. Let's go about, so it's a dozen miles. I want to say about 2 miles in.
Lead the way.
Easy enough. Give me some stealth checks.
I'm gonna leave the red. I'm gonna save that luck.
Is
We're
it
looking
just the
at
two of them?
Do you want to go with them?
You're good at stealth?
No, you guys are fine.
I'm good
Yeah.
at stealth.
Not bad at it.
You want to go with them?
Where are they going again?
Just down the mountain to try and get a better
The
look.
Yeah, we're not going
Yeah.
in town or anywhere. We just want to.
Yeah, I'll go.
Oh, actually, too bad I can't give them guidance before they leave.
That's
Well-
right.
Hold up, hold up,
Oh,
hold up. Not too many people, because if one of us fails a stealth check.
Well, the way group checks work is the better the group does as a
Oh,
whole.
And
okay.
she is a rogue, so
Oh,
she
she's
would
a
improve.
rogue.
But I
Yeah,
just rolled
that's-
really well. So.
Okay, so go ahead.
I
So,
was,
Zeke,
I get advantage.
One,
You do?
23.
23, real good.
19.
19, very good.
All right.
Wow.
32.
A 32. So, Johan, you're like predator style kind of stealthing. You're on your knees and your hands, and you're like bump, 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 as you're currently going through the motions, working your way down the mountain. You think you're low enough to the ground. You think the shadows of the clouds are covering you. And as you look around, your allies have disappeared, and popping up in front of you from the snow is the mohawked head of Zeke, who has Bugs Bunny styled managed to make his way into the snow and is like, come on, we need to hurry, and goes back down, and you just see a small mound of snow moving around in a serpentine area. And as you go down, you're still not sure where your other ally is, and as you guys make your way all the way 2, maybe 3 miles down the mountain upon where there's a cliff and a rock where you can like get behind and look out without being seen, you see that there, as you guys get into position, Hella has been there with a hot cup of tea that she must have just brewed. Hella, what do you say to them?
What's taking so long?
I popped out of the ground.
And I go, son of a bitch.
Send your ghost, send your ghost.
Alright,
Yeah. And as you say that, you look back, and suddenly the whole tea set, Hella's gone again. And you're like, Hella? And she's behind you, this time with coffee.
Stop it. Stop it.
All right, so now you're in a better position.
Alright, so I'm gonna. Casting time is 10 minutes. Just by the way.
Yeah.
Alright, so I'll take 10 minutes and I'll use clairvoyance to
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah. Creature, like a sensor. I'll use an eagle, I guess, type spirit. Or...
Yeah, so first the spirit actually appears before you in a humanoid shape.
Right.
A human man you've seen maybe a few times before aiding you in battle, but you don't quite recognize. The face is always very blurry, and the clothes almost seem to be strapped up in ethereal kind of it almost looks upon you like they're wrapped up like a mummy in some sort of tissue or paper, but that's really just the shifting etherealness of their bodies. And as it comes before you, you give it its order, and it says, "Of course, my liege."
I point
And-
towards the village.
You do so, and it turns into the form of an ethereal eagle and soars above the village. It sits in place and looks upon the suffering of the dwarven people. Make a perception check with advantage. You're looking above them from an eagle-eye view.
Sure.
is it clear today?
It's kind of cloudy, so the sun's only breaking out in certain parts, but it's not snowing, so it's very clear as far
So
as,
patchy clouds?
yes.
Okay.
Which is probably as clear as it gets up here.
Perception?
Yes.
14.
14, not bad. So as you look down, you see the dwarves. They number a couple dozen. They outnumber the ogres, but to every small group of dwarves, you see groups as big as maybe 3, 4, 5. You see that there's like one hill giant looking over them. Some of them they're not exactly visual. They're not exactly like soldiers keeping watch. Some of them are sleeping. Some of them are playing around. Some of them are like skipping rocks at houses or things of that nature. You see, however, there are a number of ogres keeping more diligent watch on some of them. If they have change or rope, they pull on them at times. Some of them whip the dwarves. As far as while they're working, you might be able to get past these hill giants if you're incredibly stealthy or clever enough. These ogres, you're probably not getting away with a fight. So while they're working, they're decently guarded. That being said, at the moment, a majority of the hill giants are forced into this position. So you also see that there's only 2 hill giants currently manning the entranceway. You see that there's no hill giants anywhere near the lake area. You see that the farm area has only 1 hill giant with a comical straw hat and wolf-like overalls. And finally, you see, well, that's about all you see.
Okay, so 3 hill giants total.
How many?
No, there's more hill giants.
Okay.
The dwarves are in packs no larger than 3 or 4. There's a couple of ogres to each little pack. Within the village, which isn't very far. It's not super big, so they're like within easy running distance from each other. There's, as you look around, you see about 9 hill giants in total.
But 2 are guarding the main entrance, one's in the back.
None are in the back.
Oh, not in the back.
Correct.
There's just one at the farm.
Correct. There's just one at the front.
Farm?
The farm, yes.
Farm. All right, so
And he's not on watch. He's tending to the animals in some manner.
farm. All right.
They do have giant cows, regular cows, a lot of giant goats.
Roughly how many ogres do?
You see, with that perception, you see that there must be upwards of 15 ogres around. Ogres by themselves, however, are not very scary.
All right.
Right.
I think we got.
You also see, I'll say this, give me, because I assume you're looking around for the whole hour, right?
Yeah.
Give me another perception check, as you're looking around at how the ogres are placed.
Advantage? No advantage.
No advantage, just perception.
13.
A 13, that's decent enough, because since you were with the party, you know what to look for. By the mines, where there were 2 horned ogres guarding them, right now, in the beat of day, well, decent early morning anyway, it's around 10ish by now. Right now, in the early morning, there are no ogres guarding the mines.
Let's try.
Perhaps.
All right, so
There are many many guarding the dwarves, none guarding the mines.
I think we have enough information here. We should probably go back and try to get something going here.
Okay.
Take advantage that there's nobody guarding them.
Since we had a good up close view of the mines, are they big enough to fit a giant, or the giants wouldn't be able to get in there?
Definitely not.
Okay.
Just ogres or trolls.
Okay. And they would be bottlenecked.
Assuming
Assuming they're all there.
assuming there aren't any a lot of entrances, which there are at least 2 or 3. I mean, if you're in the right position, you don't know how it is on the inside, but they would probably be bottlenecked.
Do we know where their weapons are held for the
Not from what you can see.
It looks like the dwarves are making weapons for them.
They also all have a lot of weapons.
They are also armed to the teeth.
But if there are more being stored somewhere, you don't know where they are.
Oh yeah.
Alright, so let's regroup with the party.
Yeah, I'm thinking riot in my hand, but all right.
Okay.
Let's go back.
We're gonna go back to the cave.
No roll necessary. You guys make your way back to the cave. What have the rest of you been doing while they were out? Have you made more bread?
I have enough bread to last us for like a week.
Nice.
But I've also exhausted most of my bread making sources.
Were you in your morning making just simple loaf
All
bread,
the
or
bread I can.
oh, so
Even,
multiple
like,
kinds?
Yeah.
So you really got
it's
into the
like-
deep thoughts.
Yeah.
Nice.
So like I have bread that like looks like an ogre.
Yeah.
So
Sometimes
with
the
what?
monotony of just making the same thing over and over, while that might seem peaceful, leaves you deep in your own thoughts.
Oh yeah. Because of that, now I have ogre bread. I have yeti bread.
Yeah.
I have pull apart monkey bread
I
that
like
looks like a monkey.
I like it.
You just see how clean the area is because it gives precision. The
Yeah, absolutely. It's very moist, very moldy, and you've just been cleaning everything. Raven, meanwhile, is just looking at that and like, oh, god damn it.
On our way back, Zeke and Johan are whispering to each other.
Okay.
I'm feeling left out because they're whispering to each other.
Yeah,
Well,
totally.
we
wanna
can't find you. We don't know where
At
you are.
one point
That's true.
in the bread making process, with the ogre bread, and then I made a fake giant bread. I
Mhm.
replayed the whole scene.
Oh, yeah.
I made a small little building bread that just gets thrown.
A gingerbread house.
Yeah, so
Oh.
Raven and Parrish, you guys see that, and Raven just like, not touching that. Parrish, what do you?
In silence.
Yeah,
Just
what do
in
you
silence.
say to this?
I just look over as I'm cleaning. I'm just like, I think someone's a little damaged.
Okay. Yeah, you definitely say that out loud. And now you guys are all back in the cave. Cassis is there too, having fully eaten a goat, and is eyeing more goats.
You want more bread? There's a lot.
Cassis, give me a persuasion check.
Oh, well, what is it? That's a 15.
Okay, yeah, she'll reach into the cave. Do you like hand her the bread or whatever?
I'll just give her a fuck ton of bread.
Yeah, you give her like a bunch of like 5 or so loaves, and she just grabs it all. And they're all artful loaves and stuff because you've been making them that way. And she just crushes them, and then she pulls them out, and she looks at them and oh, and it's like a small piece of bread for us, but for her, gra.
That
Right.
means
Right,
yes.
yes.
Nice.
It can also mean good, but you don't know that.
Oh,
Now they do.
And now I'm gonna go back to making more bread until they come back with news and I get to fire myself up again.
Fun fact, giant language, there's not a lot of syllables or different like vocalized words, but it's one of those languages where the context holds most of the meaning. Which makes a lot of sense, because they are not very talkative. So what are we doing, Raven
Right.
says. And once again, I'm not holding my physical mug.
are we back with the group?
You are.
So, Johan and I have come up with a plan. Do we see Hella in the cave now?
Yeah.
Can I pop out from behind something?
You can do whatever the fuck you want with a 30.
All right, I'm just.
As he's looking away from
Yeah, no. He's
walk-
pouring himself a drink. You do whatever the fuck you want.
Yeah.
All right.
What the fuck am I gonna do to stop it?
It looks like this in the house.
It's a cave.
It's a cave.
Oh, right, it's a
There's
cave.
pillars of bread now.
I walk
They're
over.
stalactites.
All right, I'm just gonna like poke out a loaf of bread from the pile. Okay, so yeah,
Don't do that.
When did you get there?
All right, so we have a
I
plan.
didn't
I
bake
walk,
you.
I walk over to the rest
Are
of
you
the group.
sure?
I take off my apron. I fold it up. I put it back in my bag.
You do so.
And
I
I
made
stand
bread
there
Hella
and
and she
listen.
became real.
So we have a plan. We think currently with the amount of security they have, and I want to make sure Casus can hear us. We think we can take the village if we arm the dwarves.
We need the dwarves to fight with us. There's
It's
no
gonna
way.
take like a week for the baguettes to get hard enough, but like
Okay, now hear me out.
So
We need to find where their weapons are.
Yeah, we
They disarmed the
that
dwarves.
ogre
heard.
Have
Let's
spears.
do that. Also, you're dragging snow into
out
the
of
cave,
game because I don't know that, but the ogre had a
and I
spear.
clean their boots.
Wait, I'm sorry. You clean whose boots?
Oh,
Like, so-
he said I
so
heard
it's like-
you.
I heard you.
I don't.
I understand. That's cool. But you're dragging snow into the cave.
Jesus.
it's gotten really weird. We have a bread kingdom over
I'm
there.
looking at the bread and I noticed. Do I notice the ogre?
It's like a whole reconstruction.
The
of
ogre
whole
bread?
town.
I think, would Kellum have given the giantess the ogre?
Oh no, the ogre bread I ate after it got crushed.
Then you
I ate
do
the
not
remains
see
of
it.
Okay, all right. So that's our plan. Right now, the cave that we were trying to get into is completely unguarded.
I'm gonna look at my recreation of the city in bread.
You just see me like I'm like fully set up with a backpack after you said that. I'm like, no.
Yeah. So I think if we can get into the cave stealthily,
Oh,
We
I can't
can-
do stealth.
they're gonna put the dwarves back in the cave.
That's fair. That's fair.
We
I'm
can
gonna
we can
just-
rally them.
Taking my mace, smashing the
So
bread.
here's an idea. Instead of going back the same way, you said it's clear by where it was originally.
Yeah, because most of their forces are hunting or guarding the dwarves.
Awesome. So I say we go, instead of taking the full way around, sneaking around, we just go to where the caverns are and we take a rope.
You just want to dig.
No, we take a hammer down and
Okay.
we climb down and we just walk to the door. You know what I mean? Like cave
We have to
door.
find
So
it.
you
Wait,
wanna
are we
go-
talking
you
about
wanna go
finding their
above?
weapons?
Oh, so it would be, unless you have a
It's a
way to
mine,
do
right?
so.
Yeah, we have ropes.
So hold on. So it is a mine. Picture towards the city's east. There are big mountains, very big, big as the north, far bigger than the hills that surround the other sides of the mountain. It would be a day's climb to simply go over them, unless you have some magical way of going up there faster. At the base of the mountain, on the inside of the village, that's where the entrance into the mines are. So to do what you're suggesting, to
You
go from
take a day.
above,
Okay.
it would take a day unless you have a way to do so. And it's not impossible, but it isn't super easy to climb down a mountain that close to them sneakily.
Right.
Again, unless you have a special way of doing so.
And okay, hold on. So the giant's been there before, correct?
What giants?
The giant.
You mean Cassis?
Cassie, yeah.
She has been in the village. You do not know if she's been by the mines.
I asked her, is there a way to get to the cave without being noticed?
She does this. I think actually it's been. How long does Detect Thoughts last? Only 10
Yeah.
minutes. Okay, that's cool. I just need to make sure, mark that down. That's another second level.
Sure.
She goes. Grutari Gor Gingagash, which translates to, have you tried sneaking at night or perhaps digging?
Digging.
But we can't
I'm
fit
gonna
her.
say this.
She
out
then
loud.
says,
We have a dog.
Gingagash Gregronk, digging probably very fast.
I'm gonna look around
Wait, we don't.
after smashing bread.
Yeah.
And just, what did she say?
Hey guys, you want to dig a tunnel?
I'm gonna smash more bread. Yes.
Did she say that? Did she say that?
Not those
You have to
exact
ask
words,
Zeke,
but
do you
generally.
want to build? Do you want to dig a tunnel?
No.
Do you want to build
But
a tunnel?
I'm
Okay,
game.
if you transform into a dog, will you want to build a tunnel? Would you want to dig a tunnel?
Are you objectifying what
Coming from
I?
his ears. Whoa! You can't just call him a dog.
Awesome. Now, somebody give me a investigation check as you look upon the mountains you speak of.
Oh.
Yeah,
Whoever's smart.
2 people can do it.
I'm gonna say we have
17?
a person who's good
17?
at investigation.
Okay.
Proficient
Nat
in it.
20.
A natural 20. So, you
My
understand.
investigation was proficient. In
But
that.
he got a
You got a nat 20.
Well,
It's
Alright,
over.
That's fair.
So, you look upon the mountain and you start working on the logistics of digging, the logistics of how thick the materials must be in this mountain, how tough it must be to dig in the cold. The idea of the hours you would have to do it while being incredibly stealthy, and you believe that while you would definitely have to abandon your new giantess love interest, friend, who knows? You haven't had that talk yet, but you would have to definitely abandon her for this mission because it would take far too long and be far too noticeable to make a tunnel that big unless you had another way to bring her. And B, while you don't know how deep or how high these mines go, if you went from the back, which is the only way you'd be able to do this super unnoticed, and even then with the search party you'd still be in some danger, this would take hours upon hours of digging, maybe upwards of 10 to 15 hours of digging. This is a big mountain. I was not
I
kidding.
would like to suggest.
That being said, you do have potentially days to do this, and it would, if you do it well, be perhaps the stealthiest way to get there.
Thinking.
I look.
You have a 3rd level mind brain.
I look over to Parrish with my galaxy brain.
Yeah.
And I go, Parrish, dig a tunnel.
Take a tunnel.
But it's gonna take a long time.
Well, at least at this point, I got the okay.
You did, and at that point, Cassia says, Grenkra, Gru, no, Grakri, Gru giants, Gru,
look over there and
Wonka,
go.
divided, Wonka Wonka, Wakri, little folk, Bala, together. And she said something along the lines of, wait, we should take out the giants that have separated. They are weaker divided, but you all, we are stronger together.
So do you want to go after?
Let's-
Please translate it.
Yeah, how
So
do you
this-
translate
this
that?
time, you know what? I'm gonna translate it as she said it this time around because I don't know. I don't.
Yeah,
wanna,
absolutely.
I don't want to run around the details.
Yeah. Now, I
Uh,
will say this seems to be Cassis's suggestion, but then Cassis might not be the wisest person here.
Does she have a weapon, by the way?
Nope.
She has her fists.
Cass.
Oh, she does have some chains, actually, but they're not really,
Okay,
like, tied around her fists or anything.
In that case, I'm going to use my wisdom for myself to see, basically, if I think it's a better, which one's a better idea to determine.
Okay. You actually, I think, have another way of doing that too, right?
Is he a priest?
No.
Oh,
But either way, you can make a. Would this be wisdom? I would say this would be maybe a history check, kind of like a
Strategy?
yeah,
Yeah, okay.
Can I use my divination?
yeah, if you want to.
Much better.
That's actually much better.
Yeah, I was
I'm
in
still
the
gonna
red
take the
thing.
roll,
I
'cause
was
why
like
not?
warging.
Hold the roll. Well, roll now and then hold the number. Okay. So what are the rules of? Okay.
We're gonna end this conversation. Nat 20.
A nat 20. We're not going to end this conversation because
Okay.
divination.
Yeah, so divination. They want to do that stuff, but one thing that we need to know is where the weapons are, right?
That is something to be known. Yes.
Yeah, because we need to get the weapons to our armored dwarves so we can have the dwarves to fight the giants.
Yes.
Right? So, I'm gonna ask Tempest, where can we find the weapons of these dwarves, or how can we arm these dwarves?
Okay. Yeah. So you
Which
asked.
one would I ask?
I
I'm
don't
asking
know.
at the party. Which would be better? Where can we find the dwarves'
Where are
weapons,
they
or
getting-
how can we arm these dwarves?
What, no, we
Where
need to find
can
the
we find these
weapons.
weapons?
No
We
weapons.
need to
Okay,
find the
so dwarven armory, or like where can I find the missing dwarven weapons?
Yeah. Okay. So you asked that. How do you pray? What is like the method of prayer? Do you have like some sort of idol you place on the ground? Do you have
so
some
I
sort
have
of chant?
I have that necklace that's basically the
Rosary.
it's not a rosary. It's more like
A
'cause
medallion,
rosary
a
is
symbol.
Yeah, it's a symbol.
Okay, yeah,
That's
that
just
that could
wrapped around my neck.
that's simple. That's simple enough to be an idol of sorts.
And then I just bang my shield over and over again like a rhythmic, like kind
Yeah.
of the meditation thing.
You with your fists, I assume, right?
Have a mace.
Oh, okay, yeah, that works too.
Ding,
So
ding.
so less of
I
a
like
bump
the-
bump.
You're hitting a gong a little.
Yeah,
bit.
so less of a bump bump and more of a bong.
Yeah, over and over again while like I'm sitting down.
Bong, bong, bong. The earth starts to slowly shake. The droplets of water and stone start to fall from the stalactites. As you bang the drums of war in your heart, you find yourself leaving your mortal coil. Your eyes go white, and you find yourself once again on the plains of discourse and war. You find yourself at the never-ending sunset, the moonless and sunless day, the eternal orange sky, and there, rising above you, is a great war horse. And as you go to speak, you say nothing. You merely look upon the horse, and it looks upon you. It takes but a single knee, and as you climb upon it, and as you rise to the heights of your God, as you see the world as he sees it, you have a sort of understanding. There are two ways to get the weapons. Arm them with the tools of those you kill, or steal them from under the giant queen.
Oh god.
Okay.
Did you tell us this?
Well, first he has to come
Just to
back.
come back to
And he does so. Bong.
Oh, okay. Hey.
He comes
Whoa.
back to.
There was a
Blanket over.
horse. Are the Yetis around me?
Were they when you were banging a loud
Who are
shield?
The Yetis. They do what they want.
One was. The others were a little scared, and now none of them are around you because they were all scared.
That's fair because they came back.
Yeah.
I'm gonna look at them, tell them the situation since he wasn't here.
Yeah.
There's two ways we can arm the dwarves.
Okay.
Kill the giants and give them the weapons,
Okay.
or we steal them from underneath the giant queen, which I'm only assuming is the mom of Cassis. Yeah, makes sense.
Gru.
Guru.
Yeah.
Gru.
Oh yeah, the Cassis' mom is Gru, right?
Mm-hmm.
What do I get from my?
Oh, so you were thinking battle strategies. You
Yeah.
assume that really there's no there's no better or optional way to do this. You don't imagine that the search party would be out for multiple days at a time, that they would keep coming back, which means that if you ignore them,
You lose the chance.
no, if you ignore them, they will, because you don't assume they're just going to not find you and then stop forever. If you ignore them, then there is a slight possibility that they'll find you while you're digging, which is so slight it's probably negligible. But at the time of action, when you have to take back this village, there is a high probability you will have to deal with them. That being said, though, getting the dwarves to safety or armed as quickly as possible has its own advantages as well, and digging is both the safest, if not the longest, way to do so.
Okay, so I've come up with a battle strategy. So first thing is we pre-set up the cave. We set up the cave. We just get in there enough where it doesn't create a disturbance and it doesn't take us very little effort to finish and pull everyone out. But after we pre-set up, we go hunt for that party. We kill the party, we take the weapons, and then we go to our pre-set up cave, and then we go and arm the dwarves at night, and
Oh, I will also say, with your natural 20 investigation, you would know, while killing the dwarves has its obvious advantage. I'm sorry, killing the giant search party has its obvious advantages. The weapons are not one of them. The giants are using big weapons, but there are people in that village using smaller weapons.
The ogres.
Correct.
who also go to the cave.
You've seen them come in and out of the mines, but obviously not the cave you build.
Alright, so obviously we have to dig. That is
Yeah,
the safest way to
I
get
agree,
in.
and if anything, we could just wait there and keep ambushing.
But my
Ogres,
love
dwarves.
wants to go hunt the hunting party.
I don't want to split parties.
I feel very confident with her by my side.
Okay, but who have we known longer?
You know what?
Raven. Oh, I will say,
Us
Raven
or her?
says at this point, well, there is the option of we can do both. It's just a question of what order we do them.
That's what I'm
I
saying.
think stealing from the queen is great, but only for the really stealthy and the one with the bag of holding.
But I'm
Well, I'm not
saying bros
suggest-
before hoes.
I'm not suggesting splitting the party or.
I'm suggesting playing the party.
Yeah, right. I'm
No.
suggesting we go hunt the dream.
She called her the Dreamwalker.
I'm suggesting we go hunt the Dreamwalker while she's away from the village,
Fair.
and then we come back with whatever we get from them, knowing we defeated one of their strongest warriors, and then dig a tunnel.
Agreed.
That's
And
what I'm suggesting.
My other thing is, there's no one currently guarding. We don't know if that's going to change tomorrow.
Right, but
We don't know what's going to change tomorrow.
Even when we
I
dig,
think
though,
taking down their
it's
strongest warrior is the top priority
If
versus.
we do take down
I
their
feel
strong
like-
swarms.
Digging the tunnel
I,
is going to take a while.
It
I
is definitely
think-
going to take a while. It
I
might
think-
be a
So-
multiple day effort.
We-
I
Yeah,
take the
so
stone,
like, what if we have the
and it
tunnel
makes 6
Oh,
sides.
that
digging?
thought. She's talking.
What if we
Continue.
have the tunnel getting digged while the rest of
So
us
we
go
leave
do
Parrish
both?
here. He's really good at making me stronger.
I'm
Raven says, I don't know how excited I am to be splitting the party.
Yeah, I don't want to.
I don't want
Uh,
to party,
I
but
think I need
But that's what you're suggesting.
also if we go
the
to that,
tunnel is going to take forever.
The
also,
tunnel is going to take
I'm
a
just
couple of
gonna
days.
say,
maybe.
if we dig the tunnel and go in there, we don't have to abandon the giant.
What the fuck? What?
I'm going to hunt the dream,
Weaver, catcher,
Walker.
the Dreamwalker with Casus. I suggest everyone comes with us.
Out of curiosity, what do you mean you wouldn't have to abandon the giant out of curiosity?
That's
Oh,
why I'm confused.
I can reduce her size.
For
and we
how
can get into
long?
the cave. If I extend my spell,
I don't think it's going to be several hours or days, because that spell
not
normally
the digging
lasts.
process, not the digging process,
Okay.
just the
Oh, but
travel.
when
And
the
then we can
digging
get
is
into the
done.
cave, and
You got a nat 20 on your investigation, was it?
yeah.
Yeah. What are the odds that the dwarves build mine shafts big enough to hold giants?
And you're going to burn all your spell slots doing it. So
Well, it'd be one.
I suggest you guys come with me and Casus, but we're going after the Dreamwalker.
and we need the numbers.
And we need the numbers.
I'm down for beating up a person. I'm just saying,
She killed
eventually.
your hubby.
Oh, Trust me, I know. I recreated the whole thing.
And
with
she
friends.
will too.
I fine, but I'm calling pockets.
What?
I'm calling the big ones pockets.
But
What's the
see,
speed?
what I'm trying to say is, I'm down for that. I'm down for building the tunnel, but also we still have to arm the people.
Right.
So if we eventually do have to get people who are sneaky to find that, and as long as they have the bag of holding, they can hold a lot of weapons.
Okay.
So just eventually we have to do that. That's all I'm saying. I'm not
concur.
saying we do it now.
Right,
We
right.
do it eventually.
That's
Yeah,
part of
that's
the
fine.
plan. It's
Okay,
part of the
cool.
plan.
Right,
Part of the
Cool.
plan.
That's all I need to know because all you guys are talking about was now. So
We're
wait,
literally talking
do
about
this.
order of operation.
That's what I'm saying. When are we going to do that?
I agree.
Afterwards?
Maybe during the tunnel process.
Yeah, the tunnel process is obviously just going to be.
So
him
we'll
as a
go
mole.
take out one of their top warriors, then tunnel, and then like same thingy.
I
Look
thought
for
you were
weapons.
I thought you were doing the tunnel.
No.
No,
Because
he
you're a
can,
wolf.
he can turn into.
Are you objectifying what?
Whoa. Okay. First of all, it's werewolf. Werewolf.
All right, I look at Casus and I go,
Blood hunter.
let's go hunt a
Not an
Dreamwalker.
object. Oh my
She
God.
goes, Gra.
And I walk next to her. Because I'm
still,
not going to
I'm
like
still
jump
up for
on.
digging and making a trap though.
I'm gonna offer
You're making
some
me
of my
turn
blood
into a
to
pack-a-day
the
smoker.
tempest.
Like I can't.
Absolutely. You do so in the regular prayer.
For good luck on our current.
Yeah, and the way that usually works is usually you have an idol set up, and like the tribal priest or priestess would do that. But you don't really have the perfect idol set up, so you just kind of hang the your necklace to the wall, and then you spray the blood in this pattern,
Yeah.
and then you say your prayer for good luck, and you take the thing back.
All right. I look over and I ask.
So I will say this: it's been hours. You no longer have any idea where the hunting party is, except that they were heading southeast.
We follow their
Can I
tracks.
get low to the ground and try to smell?
We can start that. So, how do you guys want to do this? Do you sneak down towards where the village is, or you try to like climb around the mountain so you can be on a different angle as you climb down?
What did we agree on doing first?
Killing the
Hunting.
dream.
Giants.
Hunting.
Dream.
Walker.
Killing
Walker.
the
Hunting the hunters.
Killing the hunting party.
What
Yeah,
is it
okay.
Not the hunting party, but the searching party hunting for
The
us.
Dreamwalker. We're
The
going after the
Dreamwalker.
Yeah, the
Dreamwalker.
Dreamwalker has two.
Whichever would
The
be
wife
the
Got it.
fastest.
Husbando.
The
Yeah.
fastest way would be climbing straight down, and you might get
Significant
seen.
Okay, the stealthiest.
That's the longer way, but
Okay.
yeah. So you guys climb down towards the eastern side of the mountain. You climb around. Let's get some stealth checks. Cassis is going to have to roll 2. You know what they called her? Cassis the Stealthy.
I don't look- Are you-
No.
It says Z.
Holy shit! Sorry.
Uh,
Rolled surprising.
19 for me.
19, solid.
16.
16, solid.
I have a 12.
12, okay. Wow, really? Okay, go ahead.
12.
12, wow, hey.
27.
27, not bad, not that impressive, but not bad. Raven rolled a natural 1. Oh, but you know
Yeah,
what?
she's a halfling.
Yeah, why not use that luck now? That's a 19, so it's like a billion.
I think it's
Wait,
plus 8
But
or
she
plus
has
9.
the plus for because she's a rogue.
Oh yeah, no wait.
Yeah, 19 plus a billion.
Yeah,
If
that's
you
what
want the
it
actual
is.
math, it's
Who has-
34.
Doesn't somebody have a cloak of elven kind? It's you.
By the way, Cassis, who has like a negative 4 to her
Oh, yeah,
stealth,
legit.
rolled a 16 and ended up on 12.
Not bad. Not bad.
Yeah, so all in all,
12, huh?
yeah, all in all, you guys make your way all the way to the base of the mountain. It's now midday, probably around 2-ish in the afternoon. I guess that's not really midday, but let's get some survival checks if you want to be looking for tracks.
Me,
I'm really good at that.
I'm gonna-
Oh, that's 20.
Oh
That's 20, and
shit!
guidance, and I get a plus 9.
Okay, as you
Can someone
get your,
guidance me?
don't worry about it.
Don't, he's
I
just
got
gonna
it.
do it.
Yeah.
You did all the work.
So,
Oh,
as you
really?
guys make your way down and you start to think to yourselves, all right, now let's look for broken branches, let's look for maybe some footprints, and Caleb just stands up and goes, that way. And if you
smell the
yeah,
blood.
yeah, you don't smell anything. You know you're in a rage now.
I smell the blood of
Yeah.
my lover on her
Yeah.
I
club.
thought
And-
raging was our thing.
And
You know
as
what?
you
Listen, I'm
as you
angry.
get closer in the direction he randomly pointed out, you see that there are some tracks. Very, very big giant tracks. Now these giants move very quickly, so it's hard to say how far they go, But now you can follow the tracks. So what's your plan? To just outward follow them and hopefully notice them first? Do you want to try and search from them maybe from above or
Does his
something?
bird have a cooldown?
Yes, he has to take a short rest and he can only move it like a mile.
Has he been taking a short rest yet?
No.
it's
You've been
no.
doing a lot of discussing, not resting.
Uh,
You could take an hour now, but that'll further the distance.
I think we should just go and hope we see them first.
Stealthily.
Oh, we were supposed to message about the bring extra reinforcements, right?
Yeah.
If you want to.
Yeah, I'm gonna just do that now. Just hey, the Giants are getting reinforcements on top of the stuff that's here. So we might need more reinforcements than you're giving us now because there's gonna be more people. What's that guy?
There's Gadar, the hero of the Veil, or there's Farahorn, the black staff.
The black guy. Yeah, the black
The-
staff guy.
Okay, I don't like how you said them. All right. Yeah.
Farahorn. Because
Farahorn.
I don't want to give it to Gregorio,
Gregoria.
because he might be a snake.
Oh,
and,
yeah,
there's an
Gregorian,
issue
that's-
with that.
You could just send it straight to the Emperor if you really wanted to.
Yeah, but I feel Farahorn has more pull than the Emperor does, which is sad.
Wow.
Okay.
He somewhere in the world, the Emperor is drinking tea, and
Oh,
like a
my heart!
like a single tear rolls down his eye, and he's like,
Into
I need to have sex with somebody. And
Wow.
so now we go back to you guys. What's the message you send to Farahorn? How do you word it?
Let me just find out where my message went. Oh, it's sending. Not
Sending,
message.
correct.
Yeah,
25
sending.
words. Or
Okay,
25 syllables.
Words.
so
25 words, not syllables.
giant settlement,
Mhm. I'll let you.
receiving more, receiving backup.
Okay.
Send more troops.
Okay.
ASAP.
ASAP. Is that one word?
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay.
Yeah,
ASAP.
abbreviation.
Yeah. What's it called? We'll be here in 7 days.
That's 15.
Love you, bye.
What?
Love you,
Love
bye.
you, bye.
I'm not gonna say love you bye yet. There are things to discuss.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. And is there a possible way to keep Yetis in the city?
Actually,
Perfect.
25.
I was okay.
Send a second one. This is love you, bye.
No, that's wasting spells.
Yes, love you, bye.
So he sends you back. Understood. Very distressful. Try to mount counterattack. No, counterattack's one word. Counterattack with dwarves. Leave mission up to you. Best of luck. And then he says, perhaps, but very costly and inhumane.
Well, damn.
Did you tell him about the coup?
No. I told him that he asked us to do the coup anyway.
Gave
so-
him the cliff notes.
Yeah, I basically told him just send more reinforcements because we got everything else.
Yeah, we planned.
So
So
he told us what we were already doing.
Oh,
So.
Alright, go after those
we
tracks.
continue with the tracks.
Okay,
Continue
you
stealth.
continue to, so give me now that you're down on the ground and following these tracks. I'm going to need everyone to give me group stealth checks again.
All right.
Question.
Yes.
Can I make a suggestion that we're hiding in the giant tracks?
What do you mean hiding in the giant tracks?
Like there are these gigantic footprints.
Yeah, but they're not like, they're not all like that, like grading. They're, a lot of them are like bump, bump. So unless you're thinking, I'll get in one and then jump 10 feet into the other and then keep doing that, then no.
the way we stealth is arbitrary. We just need to make stealth checks.
That's also true.
Is there a lot of trees nearby?
This is a forested area, so there's a lot of trees.
Could we hide? Can we follow the tracks while hiding in the trees for an advantage or no?
Oh yeah, that
Not
would
with
be a good
the,
idea.
that's not enough for advantage.
That's completely okay. I was just asking.
That's why I was wondering if there was any. kind of
Assume that I'm giving guidance to the
Giant.
giant.
Sure.
13.
Damn it.
Oh,
I have
Okay.
advantage. My first roll was a 2, second one was
Okay.
a 5.
So
but
let's
I
go.
have
13.
that.
you're good.
13,
17.
17,
13.
13,
11.
11,
18.
18. Pretty good. The giantess. That's right. Giantess has guidance. Give me just a moment.
Yeah, and don't forget Raven.
Oh, I rolled for Raven. She rolled very average, painfully so. Giantess got a 14. She's moving like a hunter.
He's moving better than some of us.
Yes, in fact, she's like weaving in and out of trees instead of just breaking some of them. Which, by the way, as you move forward and forward, you do see occasionally a tree or two that's been uprooted and left behind. However, surprisingly, there's very little of that. These giants are apparently quite skilled, perhaps, quite light on their feet. Even the deep tracks in the snow, they aren't like you've seen the hill giants move, and they would be leaving large, obvious trails as they just kind of penguin shuffle through the snow. These guys do not do that. They take large strides. They apparently try to put their weight at the front of their foot instead of at the heel. All in all, they're quite skilled, but you guys are doing incredibly skilled yourselves. You find yourselves walking past large numbers of deer and occasionally like a small polar bear, and they don't seem to take notice to you until you're right up on them. And occasionally, Cassius will take one, snap its neck, and begin eating it as a snack. But all in all, fairly uneventful. You don't seem to be getting attacked at any point. And how many hours are you willing to travel like this?
As long as the tracks continue, I think we can continue.
Yeah, at a certain point, with your Nat 20 survival check, you see that at certain points the group seems to fan out, so it becomes a little bit harder to get a general idea of where they're going. But with everyone working together, and again that Nat 20, you understand the general intent of where they're heading towards, where they're meeting up, and you find yourselves, I'm going to say, with those stealth checks, I'll say that you find yourselves, the sun is starting to set, and you make me a perception check with advantage.
Perception. 13.
With advantage?
Yeah.
Okay. Let's see then. This will be just a moment.
Guidance?
Oh, yeah, you could guidance him.
You get +1.
$70 one.
+1, yeah. So with a 14, the winds start to change, and as the winds start to blow towards you guys, as you pick something up. Now that you're downwind, you pick up the smell of sulfur and the smell of blood. As you move forward, you see blood stains on the snow as part of a deer has been left behind. You feel that perhaps from the sulfur is some kind of fire. The giants might be close, but you're smelling around. It's just too hard to pick it up. You don't know what direction they're in. The tracks have started to fade with the coming snow. There's no blood trails either. You know that they have to be close, but you just can't figure out what direction. And you also start to think that if you move recklessly, they might pick up on you and get the drop in. So what do you all do?
I relay this to
Yeah.
the party.
Okay.
We should probably head towards the trees.
They're really close. We don't want to move.
Dig underneath us, make a pit, so that way we can stay warm. And then
I want to get the jump on them.
You
Well,
really
if
want,
they-
you really want to dig.
I do want to dig.
Turn into a bird. Tell me where they are. Turn into a bird.
What? You know you can turn into a bird.
I know.
Don't look at me.
But he wanted to dig.
He did want to dig. Be one of those digging owls.
Bird out
But don't
the
be
digging owl.
don't be a small
Barn owl.
bird that'll get blown away by this wind.
The wind, maybe that would be true if you guys were high up.
Okay.
You're at ground level, so that's not going to be a major problem as long as he flies, not up to the clouds.
So I could also be a winter bird.
Whatever.
Option
Turn
is
into a
to
bird. Tell us where they are. I
Yeah,
I
follow the
can't figure it
lights.
out.
Maybe by calling
He
them.
becomes
What's a bird? What's something that can dig and also fly?
he becomes Delhi.
An owl in Hawaii.
Well, yeah, but they can't dig a lot.
Parrish, today
Well, yeah.
we're losing daylight.
You actually have already lost daylight.
We
now
have lost daylight.
the
That's
sun
perfectly
is
fine.
the
Same.
sun is setting, and within 15, maybe 10 minutes, the light of the moon, stars, and the aurora borealis will be the only thing guiding your way.
How's
That's
this-
right. At this time of day, at this time of year, the aurora borealis.
Today,
I think we should just go on foot, be stealthy.
and
I'll take lead.
The
'cause I
problem,
can see best.
so Parrish, that's fine. The problem is, what direction do you want to go? Do you want to just press forward and hope for the best? Because you don't have a good idea at this point where they're making camp.
and that's why we need you to go up and tell us where they are so we can be stealthy.
If we use polymorph, can I use it again or not?
Well, he can, but that's a big thing. That's a big thing to lose right before a fight.
Exactly.
If there's
That's
another
the only
way,
to do it.
Does anyone have a better idea?
I
We need to
think-
figure out where they
Can
are.
he just sneaky
Wait a minute.
forward, or does he have to go?
No,
like,
because-
significantly
well,
forward?
you can just sneaky forward, and hopefully, with your keen eyes, you'll be able to see something.
Yeah,
The
so you
problem
can see in
is-
the dark.
So we're gonna take a leap of faith here at like this pinnacle moment.
Well, there's only 3 of them.
There's
four
four
of them, and one of them is their strongest warrior. Mm-hmm. So again, don't feel like taking a leap of faith here.
I know, but I'm worried about him needing it later.
Polymorph is so important against these guys.
Yeah.
He has more than one polymorph.
You can use polymorph several times.
Yeah,
How many times can you use it?
enough.
Do
So
it.
you're fine
He can
with
use it
using
like 4 times.
Yeah.
Alright.
So
What's the biggest bird I can turn into?
Oh well, the biggest
What?
bird you can
Oh,
turn
whoa,
into
whoa,
would
whoa.
probably be a giant
Not
eagle.
Well, look,
What
if
about
you
rocks?
Maybe you could even turn into a
Do rocks
pterodactyl?
exist?
If
Wait,
he
do
wants to,
rocks
he can do
exist?
it.
rocks. Very much do exist. He is not powerful enough to turn into a rock. And also, yes, that would be very big. So big, in
Well,
fact, that you
Parrish
couldn't
I
not
also
be
need
noticed.
perception.
Parrish, I trust your decision, and I sit down in the snow and wait.
Falcon.
All I'm going to say
They're
is
fast and they're not too big.
No, I'm worried about perception, not speed.
I'm going to look at you
Eagle.
Yeah, well,
before we
Eagle
continue.
eyes.
Eagle's
is a
probably
thing.
best.
Parish, they are a hunting party looking for food. If you become a giant bird, you become prey.
Do you go to the
Yeah.
hunting party or the search party?
We don't know.
could be either or. You
Yeah,
know they've killed
well,
at
we just
least
saw
a
a
couple
deer.
of deer.
Oh, what about a bat? Bats have good vision in the night.
Oh, they have echolocation.
Well, yeah, that's true.
Senses.
You could very well turn into a giant bat if that's what you want.
Does it have to be a giant bat?
No, you could
Giant
turn into a.
animals have
You could
better
turn into a.
stats.
You could
Okay.
turn into a virgin bat, or you could turn into a
Oh,
Chad
virgin
giant
bat.
bat. Your
I'll
call.
turn, I'll
Can I
turn
be a
into
Chad
giant
bat?
but I want to make sure like I'm gonna.
You
be
actually want to turn
cautious.
into a giant bat?
I want to make sure that I'm keeping like
A large bat.
like it's echolocation, so I can at least keep my distance.
I don't want you to be a target.
That's all I'm saying is like if you become a big animal, you become a target.
Yeah,
Well, if
because
a
they're
deer,
hunting.
if a regular sized deer was killed, what's the difference between
A
bat
bird,
and
a regular bird is
So
Plus, if
the
they throw
problem,
stuff at
so
him,
the
we'll know where
difference
they are.
that they're
That's
trying to bring
Oh,
up, Parrish,
yeah.
That's
is
fair.
that as a smaller bird, you would be harder to notice.
Also, I can go higher.
Well, if that's what you want.
Yeah, if you get thrown, like you said, if you
If
get
you're-
thrown stuff at, we can look at where they threw it.
Exactly. If they try to hunt, you're just going to be perceptive. If they try to hit you, then you know
Best
where they
case
are.
scenario,
Yeah,
he
they're not-
knows where they are. Worst case scenario, we know where they are because they'll try to kill him.
Yeah.
It's a win-win.
Yeah.
Maybe a
It's
giant.
just a win-win.
Go for it.
Just go.
Go.
Yeah,
do
just
whichever
be a
you
bat.
want.
But also
Has
consider
the-
this. As a giant mole, perhaps you could dig under them and find where they
You just
are.
wanna
through
make
terms-
it-
Has a giant mole. Has night come upon us? How
Yeah,
long have we
yeah,
been
yeah.
discussing this?
I don't know. How long have you been
Moles have
discussing
good
this?
hearing, correct?
No.
No.
Today, Parrish, we're
Bat.
literally nighttime
Just
is
do a bat.
here.
All right.
Echo location. Do a bat.
The outside is calling me.
I'm just gonna. I'm gonna go giant owl because
If that's what you want, yeah.
Okay.
giant owl.
Yeah, absolutely. What type of owl? Like Snow White?
Oh, they have
Oh
silent
my
flying.
God.
What? They have
The,
silent
the one that lives in the cold area.
owls.
You have to be
No.
specific. We need the braids.
It also, I mean, you're the type, but what color scheme? Are you like Hedwig, like
Oh,
white with
can
black
you
stops?
be red with flames like Guy Fieri?
Yeah.
Oh,
You could even have a little yellow, like, kind
That
of.
totally would be
Yes.
very easy to see.
Your
I'm
eyes
gonna go
look
with
like
blue tips with yellow stripes because why not?
Yeah, okay.
That
So
means
a
at least
blue
six.
owl
Okay.
with yellow stripes. Is that what I'm getting?
Yes.
Alright.
Oh,
I'm
I'm
very
Yellow,
close.
blue tips, yellow stripes.
What, like a white owl, blue tips, and yellow stripes? Okay, yeah.
I'm
Look at
paying
us,
very close attention to him.
Mhm.
So if anything gets thrown at him, I know I can like zoom in on where it's coming
Cool.
from.
It will be hard to do that from the ground.
Can
Do
I
you want
climb-
a
I'm gonna-
tree,
I'm
perhaps?
gonna ask Jesus to help me get
I'm
on
a
top of the
giant.
tree.
One of them could climb on my back without being
Yeah, I'm
noticed.
not getting anywhere near you.
That's what they said. So, yeah, Kisu says, not sure if want to. I'm sorry. My bad. She says, not good idea. And she. Oh, you don't have detect thoughts. I'll say with your natural insight, she says something along the lines of, she doesn't want to stick her head above the tree line. She's been crouching down this
Keep
whole
her
I
head.
way.
understand. I just start climbing up the tree.
Yeah, and now you're up the tree. As you turn into this white, yellow, and blue-tipped bird, you fly into the night sky. The sky is orange, but as you take flight, the sun starts to fall, and now it's black. And you find that it's fairly easy to keep an eye on where he is because he's a white bird with yellow strips on the dark
Don't forget
sky.
the blue.
Yep. Oh yeah. Well, you definitely can't see his tips, but he made it a
The
point.
Cerulean.
But he made a good point that only his tips were blue. So he's an almost all-white bird with striking yellow stripes.
Awesome.
Very easy to keep your eye on.
Very awesome.
So now you're flying up. Which way do you go? North, south, west?
I'm going to start
Forward.
with the direction of where the footprints were, but like off to the
Yeah,
side.
easy enough. And how high do you go? Just tree line, really high up, super high up?
I'm going to go with decently high up.
Decently high up. Okay, now you're about 50 feet above the tree line, rising ever higher. You're starting to bend with the winds. You're high enough that the winds are not strong enough to screw you up. And as you're gliding upon the path, give me a first perception check as you're looking through the sky.
Guys,
Come on.
Now you use the bird stats,
Not 20.
which, oh my fucking god, he bought a fucking loaded dice. I know it.
This was for perception or
Who's
stealth?
Perception.
Okay.
Okay.
That's so average. That's good. Yeah.
yeah, that's why I don't.
As
It wasn't
you-
that 20. Just be sure.
Yeah.
Just confirming.
Where'd
Holy
you buy
crap.
this, guys? I want to buy it.
Yeah, me too.
No, not you.
I can't say on
Oh,
stream.
no, no,
unfortunately.
You can use this.
So, as you
why
start
do
to
we do
bend through the forest and you make your way past a valleyed area from a steep cliff, you then turn as the winds between the valley start to shift you, and you see in the distance, you've now been flying maybe 5 minutes, so it's a pretty decent distance away, at least over a mile's journey. You see a light red light in the distance and a decent fume of smoke. Do you fly over to confirm?
Off to the side. I don't want to be directly.
Yeah, no, absolutely. With your perception check, you fly a little bit higher, so it's harder for them to see you. And as with your special eyes, you look down and you zoom in and you see cooking deer and bear and various other types of meat. You see the giantess woman. And now I need you to give me a stealth check.
Come on.
What is the giant owl's
I
dexterity?
cannot possibly believe this. It's like a +2 or something.
22.
Who should this be? I would like Zeke to come forward
Oh no.
because this is amazing.
Oh, no.
I don't like these numbers.
What did you get? It was like 24,
22.
right? 22. That's really good. There's no way they're going to see you.
You say that, yet you're pulling someone aside.
It's probably for this awesome Nat 1 that saved your guys' party. Huh. Would you like to tell the audience?
Nope.
No.
Nope. Nope.
So,
I'm watching him, by the way. I've got eyes like a hawk.
you have, and it's been very easy for you to notice him because he's a white bird flying in the dark blue sky with yellow stripes.
Right.
Okay, that's All right, that's gonna miss, and that's gonna hit. So 3 trees start flying in your direction. 2 of them hit, 1 misses because they saw you from a mile away with a natural fucking 20.
Oh my god.
So
Called it.
yeah, so this is going to be a moment. Let's see. What would you imagine a giant eagle has for health? Actually, I could just look that up as I change the music.
Giant owl.
Well, same stats.
Six
Yeah.
guys. Okay.
If anything, an owl would have less.
A bird is a bird is a bird is a bird.
Exactly. So this will be just a hot moment.
So a chicken and ostrich are the same.
Is a bird is a bird is a bird. Is a bird.
Hold on. By the way,
20?
Yeah.
tell me the AC.
Do you
Well, they rolled a 219s, so they hit.
plus their hit?
I don't have to look it up to know that they hit,
No,
but
no, no.
also the AC's 13.
Your
You
AC.
cannot cast a spell as a bird, if that's what you were thinking.
You're a bird.
And yeah. Also,
Let's see. Well, let's hear about the first hit. See if I get knocked.
you
out
have
the first
30 HP.
one. Okay. Let's see if
So-
I get knocked out of the first one.
Yes.
DM, I have a question
30
because I
HP,
can't
right?
remember.
30 HP.
Yeah.
Does if he only takes over leftover damage, correct?
Correct.
Okay. Thank you.
I don't like that music.
I don't know why.
It's a bird. It's a bird. It's a bird.
Cool.
That's a 22.
Unfortunate. It was a nat 20, my
I
dude.
know.
Uh-huh. Okay. Okay, you take 26 points of damage as the first tree slams hard into you. You're currently falling into the sky, spinning around, trying to regain balance as you spread out your wings, but they're bent from the impact. In a moment. Don't worry. You'll see me. You're falling hard into the sky, and as you fall, one of the giants stands up. They're looking at your trajectory. They hold their tree up. Whoosh! And they do. Give me just a moment.
Pack it
Uh-huh.
down.
Okay. They do 20 points of damage. So you, as the tree lands onto you, you feel ribs break. As
20
your
points
spell
of damage.
ends, you are now back to perish, and you take about 16 points of damage. You're also now falling. Do you have anything to do to stop the falling?
I have a lot actually.
Great. What would you like to do as you're falling? And also, on that note, you saw all of this.
Initiative?
In a moment,
So are we gonna be catching up to him in initiative?
you're going to be trying.
How high am I above the ground at this point?
You were 50 feet. You were 50 feet above the tree line because you were decent height. So you were. The tree line would be only about 30 or so. No, not even 20 feet or so. So you're You're about 50 feet above
I
ground.
need it for this situation.
So I was 50, and then I dropped down to 50.
I would like one.
No. You were 50 above the tree line. The tree line was 20, but the logic was that you were gliding downwards.
Okay.
So you were only 50 feet up, unless you wanted to be 70.
How tall is a T-Rex?
Oh, a T-Rex is a large creature, so it's about 20 feet.
20 feet?
No, maybe less, maybe about 15.
Can I nosedive to go faster down?
Yeah,
Mother.
yeah, absolutely.
I wish to go down 30 feet and then cast and become a T-Rex.
Awesome. So you nosedive. You feel the sharp pain as one of your ribs are broken. You feel bruises everywhere and some internal bleeding. And as you're spinning around, you fix yourself, you nosedive down, and you cast Polymorph. So the T-Rex is going to take some damage. First, do you know your T-Rex stats?
You should look them up.
I
They're
will
pretty
soon.
great.
Great. You do that real quick while I roll some damage numbers.
That was only 30 feet of fall.
No, you fell 50 feet. Just because you
Oh.
transformed midway through doesn't mean you stopped the momentum.
Should turn to a bird.
Yeah, actually.
Hey, JP.
Why do I feel like there's snow on the ground?
There would be snow on the ground.
Wouldn't that cushion if he was a smaller animal?
You haven't fallen 70 feet onto snow before, have you?
No, I haven't had the pleasure, no.
Yeah. So your T-Rex form is going to take 18 points of damage when you finally find his HP.
Oh, it's like nothing.
Yeah, it's nothing. You will have to make a concentration check, though.
Question.
To
Yo.
maintain
In the
this
Disney
balance.
movie Frozen, they
My
fell
con
off
is
of a
plus
cliff
4 now, I
into
don't care.
snow.
Yep.
Plus my 5
They
for
were
my...
okay.
They're higher level than you guys.
Mm.
Ain't that a bitch?
Disney characters are higher level than us.
Yeah.
Yes.
Olaf would kick your ass, man. It's an immortal golem. Are you kidding? So while you're searching stuff, be sure to also give me a concentration check. That's a con save with your stats,
Not the T-Rex?
not the T-Rexes.
So, 2 clicks down. 2 clicks down.
Oh, okay.
Okay. Well, it's not too bad. Nice. Okay.
Would you?
12.
That passes. The DC was 10. So you are on the ground. You are still physically hurt, but as a T-Rex, you're basically fine. And what do you do as you fall onto the ground? Do you like do the Jurassic Park thing, or like?
I hope he comes towards you.
I
hope he runs away.
That's kind of the plan. How fast do I run?
You have the T-Rex stats.
Oh
While
wow.
this is happening, can I get stealth? Can I hide?
In a moment, we're about to get to you guys.
So I take Oh, can I clarify? What's it called? Spending 2 points to quicken that spell because I'm falling.
Sure. Yeah.
Okay, I'm gonna dash.
Yeah. Okay. How fast does a T-Rex run?
50 feet.
50 feet. Solid. So you're now 100 feet closer. You're easily still half a mile away from your party, though. No, actually, that wouldn't be quite right because, yeah, it wouldn't. You would have been flying back after them. So let's say you're only about 1,000 feet away from your party. Yeah. They, however, are slightly farther away from you.
Because I was already a distance from them.
Correct. And you moved towards them as you got hit by a tree. So now we go back to you guys. Easily about 1,000 feet away, your friend fell, and then you heard a much larger thump as he hit the ground than normal, and now you hear a lot of rustling as probably green, I assume. What color is your T-Rex? Your choice.
I'm gonna go with I want them to see me, so bright yellow.
Bright yellow. You don't see the T-Rex because he's not above the tree line, but you see trees moving as something is moving towards you
I
guys.
yell.
You do. Okay.
Does he see it?
He got attacked. Let's move, and I jump down and start running.
Yeah, absolutely. So now you guys, I assume, are all dashing towards him. You, while they're dashing towards you, that you don't know that, you're running towards them, and things are being thrown at you as giants are moving with immense speed towards you. You're still running faster than them, but they're running at you. So let's see. I want you to give me an athletics check to see how fast you can get to your party, and I'm going to roll to see if they can hit you. Let's say 3 times.
So yeah.
You're going to roll athletics check to see how fast you can
Mine or
get to the
theirs?
party. You're a T-Rex now, so the T-Rex. You use the T-Rex for that. Meanwhile, I'm going to need the T-Rex AC.
AC
it's like a
13 natural.
13 natural.
Athletics.
Okay.
Does can I use guidance?
For athletics, yes. Oh, wait, no, you can't use a spell
Yeah,
when
so I
you're
was
a
like, yeah,
T-Rex,
okay.
yeah.
It's a cantrip though. No, I'm just kidding.
Yeah, well.
What is it?
Do you want me to do the math?
Okay.
With a T-Rex stats?
Oh, what's here then?
Yeah. If it doesn't have an athletic score, it's its strength.
Okay, do I include my
No.
proficiency?
No,
You don't use that, no.
just your T-Rex strength.
9.
9, okay.
They're there, buddy.
Well, so,
Wow, there is going to be a character death tonight.
who's to say? Now, here's what does happen. You are running at immense speed. They're throwing things at you, occasionally hitting you. You manage to, before dropping to the ground, not necessarily out of HP, but out of tiredness, roughly, let's say with that score, 400 feet away from your party, you guys see a T-Rex amongst the trees as you guys are running towards them, but you also see giants further in the distance hurling things at you. Now, 4 giants got to hurl 4 things at you. 1 missed, 3 hit, 1 nat 20'd.
Oh, fuck.
Yes, just as the music
Let me
dies.
just hear the numbers. Let me just
Yeah.
hear the numbers.
All right, this will be just a moment. I'm going to give it to you all at once.
So, like, he's only taken 16 so far.
Yeah.
And he's a T-Rex right now, so he's, pretty good.
Do you want to use my phone for music?
Yes,
I have
absolutely.
19%.
Thank you.
19?
Yep.
That's not bad.
Okay, just one moment. Yeah, I know, right?
He sees your nat 20. That gives you 2 nat 20.
I raise you up 1 nat 20 for 2.
By the way, you know which one did the nat 20?
Because of the Dreamwaker
It's the
Walker.
Dream Walker, yeah.
Oh no. That's
Oh, here we go. That's how you turn up the volume.
Just give me the numbers.
I'm not done yet. There's a lot of numbers, you see.
I don't want to hear those words. Just give me the
All right. Hang on.
I just Nat 20ing as a DM is a lot of fun.
I'm gonna go.
That's you know.
And now I move from the D8 to the D10.
I feel like I can use the bathroom and make it in time.
You might. You might.
I'm almost done. Calm down.
Where's that? No.
Hold your horses.
I'm just saying an unconscious player doesn't need to be.
He has a lot of HP. He's good.
Okay.
Hold on, I gotta mentally prepare myself for this.
You should.
He's not even done yet, and he's already. You should.
You take
Not how low you
88 points
Oh, no,
of damage.
I know you changed it.
Where are you at?
He's not even in camera view.
No, he's not.
I can't believe you've done this. So you take 88 points of damage.
Oh god.
You can make 3 Constitution saving throws.
Oh.
I'll tell you if you pass or fail each one.
Jesus
It's not going to change, I'm not going to be like you failed the first one, you took everything else as a human, but
22,
pass.
20,
Pass. Shit.
14.
Fail. So you take all that damage as a
Oh.
T-Rex.
Do I get?
Your con.
This is actually with your personal stats.
Can he guidance himself?
Not as a T-Rex.
Oh, then that's
What was the last one?
what was the number I said?
14.
14, you told me.
So subtract 4, add 7.
17? Still fails. You took all that damage as a T-Rex, so you're actually still pretty golden, but as that last one hits you on the back of the head, you fall face first into the snow, 500 feet away from your friends, and you are
500?
currently... 500, yes. And you are currently perish. The giants are following behind
Do I
you.
get a turn?
In a moment. The giants are following behind you at a decent pace, but they're still like 200 feet away from you. And now, we roll initiative.
Alright, Red, come on. You've been good tonight.
Oh, that landed in
Oh my
face.
God in heaven almighty. Alyssa, come look at this one.
Oh no.
Stop it.
Mr. DM.
Yeah?
My dice fell on other dice.
Okay.
So like
You can re-roll it.
so-
That's called
okay,
top.
I was
Yeah.
making sure.
No,
Like-
it's cool. It's cool.
Oh, that's way better.
Want to tell them?
Way better.
I know you
Give us
just
the number.
paradise.
In Spanish. Give us the number in Spanish.
Put
Yeah.
up one finger. Just put up one finger.
I know
Just
you
roll
do
that
what
one.
you want.
Yes.
I like my
I need you to work with me, not against me.
Kiss it.
I kiss
appreciate
Red.
you.
Red helps.
Kiss it.
We're worth every dime.
Kiss it.
Kiss it, but say no
You're a
hetero.
beautiful color.
Kiss it. Say all.
You
No
should
hetero.
have your roll by the time Paul's
No
on.
hetero.
Roll it. Do
Now
it.
think really hard about Sailor Moon and roll.
Holy Christ in heaven almighty.
Well, that,
Okay.
It didn't even land
Well,
in
no,
the
I know it's
18.
What number is it?
18.
I was blocked by the box.
Nice.
You know what? I didn't talk enough love to the box.
The box water.
You're next.
By the way, you know you had advantage, right?
Yep.
Cool.
Ow,
11.
look.
11. Solid.
20? Oh wait, actually more than 21 because we're about to have like plus
Fuck, this is
24.
Okay, very good, very good.
Right? I'm pretty hype. Pretty hype. First time I rolled.
Okay, Parrish.
I don't want to answer you, so 9.
Okay,
Is
okay.
it 9? It's 9, isn't it?
You're still going before most of these giants.
Not
And finally,
enough of them.
Oh, I forgot. We add 10 to initiative.
you do.
How far? Wait.
30.
Holy
Oh.
fucking
Wait,
Christ.
why still that 20?
No. Oh, did you?
I'm at 20.
Oh,
Oh, if you got
Jesus.
20, you just go first.
But
Alright.
also, hearing the word 30 is scary.
Yeah.
And
Yeah.
Raven. You got roll for Raven, too.
Yeah,
Yeah.
Maybe
thank you. I know. Just a moment.
I'm sorry, I switched my chair just because my back was like,
I'll take it.
you good?
You want this one?
No, I'm good.
Oh,
actually to like move my legs because you were like, hey,
Okay,
you're
very
in
good
a
for
lot of
her.
pain. A cow wasn't meant to sit on two legs, nor was it meant to stand on two legs either.
We passed so many cows on our way over, like up your street.
It's so beautiful.
And let me just check.
There's so many black cows, and they're so cute.
Your head's not framed.
Who? Is
Right.
my head in frame
No,
now?
he's checking. He's checking.
You're good.
Really?
Yeah.
Down there, he's good.
Mark's tall.
It's true.
I am good at this.
Can I sit on the bouncy ball real fast?
You'll never be in frame.
I want to see how badly I won't be in frame. Just real fast.
All right,
You'll be
so-
under the bar.
This will be just a moment while I set up the board.
Oh, what did Raven roll? I don't know.
Oh, Raven got a 19.
20 in frame.
Just your head.
Raven got 19.
Nice. Can Raven trade it?
If she tries really, really
Am I in frame
hard,
now?
Yeah.
this is what happens when God leaves. Chaos.
Okay.
That's the
I
dream.
got a little
The
dizzy.
Dream Walker.
Is that the Dreamwalker? I thought
It
the Dreamwalker
is.
was a girl.
Oh,
Well, I'm not rich, so.
Oh, okay. I thought the skinnier one was the Dreamwalker.
Normally, these are two stone giants, and so is this one. This is actually a frost giant, but I am not a perfect man, so I don't have everything in my life.
What are you talking about? You're the perfect man for us.
Ain't that the truth?
Wow, way to be cocky there.
Yeah.
I have to take back my answer. I'm gonna go back.
Alright, so I'm gonna say for this, every square is going to be about 10 feet.
Until we get within range? Or
Yeah.
For the whole fight?
If I change it, I'll change it.
Okay.
I'll let you know. But for now. So let's see.
okay, y'all better not F up on this because I'm out of cigarettes. So I don't know if I can handle this.
I got an
I
11.
didn't get very far.
What?
I got an 11.
No, you got decently far. Every square for this fight is going to be 10 feet.
How far is that?
That's about 200 feet from the base of the giants.
So,
And we're about 400 feet.
Again, everyone is 10 feet, so on your turn you would
double-
move like yay.
Yeah.
So you didn't get super far. You rolled pretty low.
You
And
do have a skill.
You guys are going to be at the
I mean,
base
so.
here,
Unless you run fast.
That's you.
running as fast as you possibly
You were in
can.
front of us. You saw it first.
Double action.
That's up to the DM, but
That's fine. You guys can be within about 10 feet
that's,
of each
I was gonna
other.
say that's technically my wolf, but I am gonna shift immediately.
Okay, then I'll save myself the
Yeah,
trouble.
Yeah.
Just go to where is here you are. Let's see. Here we go.
Hey, Sam.
Are you call my phone?
Oh no, I know what time it is. I have a watch.
Oh, what were you?
Never mind, it's dead.
It's like 9.
9:30.
Okay,
It is. It's like 9:40ish.
Okay, I was wondering what time are we supposed to be ending the stream?
Yeah,
No.
we got to where we got to.
Hey, there's
Oh my
there's my
God.
love.
She doesn't quite look like this, but that's what she looks like for
What
now.
is that?
She's pretty
That's
hot.
a
Normally it's a cloud giant.
Cloud.
All right, and now, with the position set, we'll find out if our heroes manage to survive next time on Dungeons and
Come
Dogs.
We
Come
got
on.
20 minutes?
Yeah, all right. What do you think, audience? Should I let them fight it out a bit? Please. All right. Why the fuck not?
Yeah.
Helen, you're up.
No, we should go to bed.
That's
Okay.
Oh, that reminds me. Actually, first I gotta roll for Cassis. Almost forgot. Holy fucking shit!
Is it a nat 20?
20.
Not quite.
I
18.
actually feel like this would be a good place to pick up from.
so it's your turn.
Too late. We gotta go ahead from the audience.
Oh.
Yeah, I can't dick them that hard.
Oh,
Come on.
all right.
That was a major tease. All that set
I
up.
missed my
That's why
my
you
other
did it.
rogue. I need my other rogue here.
They're here in
I
spirit.
dropped it.
That was a
Okay.
roll.
She's the one that
I
voted
didn't
for it
even
to
look at the
continue.
number, so I don't know.
Go
what
ahead.
it was. I should have just taken the other.
I thought you didn't see it.
Yeah, I thought you didn't like a number.
No, I know. I should have left it alone. I should have just when I dropped it. I should
What's
have
your
just.
number?
This one?
I'm sorry. What were you rolling for again?
I don't know. You said it was my turn. So
Yeah.
Are you just rolling?
Yeah, I assume I
Just
have to roll
rolling.
for something.
Didn't even say what you
All right.
No, I have to roll for something,
Doesn't
don't I?
even know she's doing it.
No.
Oh,
I'm already.
First, you're here. What would you like to do? Run up?
Am I right next to the scary person?
No.
Your giant friend? Yes.
Oh, that's our giant friend. Oh, okay.
Mount her.
Your friend
Whoa.
who's in danger of dying is here.
I'm sorry, there's
There's
a
a-
pole in
yeah.
the way.
Oh, this is unfortunate.
Yeah, it is. That's our friend who's in danger of
I'm just
dying.
saying, if we had built a hole before I went in,
Who is that?
Perish.
Oh.
Yeah.
So Parrish is in danger of perishing.
Ain't that funny?
I'm gonna go die now.
Oh, God.
See,
I'm gonna cast counterspell.
That's how you make a good pun.
On what? What do you counter spell?
And I'm gonna counterspell that pun.
You
It
should have said
fails. I
counter
don't know
pun.
Which one?
You're just messing up everywhere, huh?
You know what? Roll me a d20. We'll see who.
No, come on, seriously, come on.
All right.
You are hundreds of feet away from your friend. Hundreds of feet behind him, there are scary giants running towards you.
It's a race.
What do you do?
It's a race.
It's arguably a race of death.
I have 30 speed. What's the furthest I can?
You can, if you focus just on running, you could get a whole 90 feet.
Well, I don't want to use a dash as an action.
Well, with you can still dash as a bonus for 60 feet.
Okay. How far? For example, how far is Parrish? Because Parrish is dead in the center.
Parish is, give me just a moment, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 140 feet away from you.
I'm not even dead.
Do you have a? Doesn't a crossbow hit that range?
You said 140?
140.
I don't need to hit
No,
Parrish
no,
with a
not a
crossbow.
hand crossbow.
Oh.
Yes.
I don't need to hit Parrish with a crossbow.
I could do
My
that with
concern is, like, I wanted to get to Parrish so that,
You
I'd
could just
be...
get as
So-
close as possible, bring an action.
That's
What are you doing?
true.
Yeah, I do need to know
Because your
now.
rounds are 6 seconds.
Yeah.
What?
In D&D
6
time.
That's the logic. Everything you
Yeah.
do in the turn is 6 seconds.
Yeah.
But I do need to know, obviously, I do need to know now what you're doing. The time for indecisiveness has ended.
All right, I'm going to move my full motion. I'm going to use the bonus attack as the
action.
dash.
Okay.
So full 60.
So you're going to go 60 feet, no problem. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. That's as far as you go.
Stealth or no?
She could roll stealth now as an action. There's plenty of trees about. You could run. You could dive into the snow if you wanted to, or you could do something else as an action. What would you like to do?
Well, everybody's too far away for my crossbow.
Yeah, your giant enemies are way too far away for a crossbow.
All right,
Not
I
even
guess I'm
close.
going to have to do this, the sneak, the hide, I mean.
Yeah, roll me stealth with advantage.
So that's 23.
It'd be awesome.
You jump behind a tree and you think nobody's going to see you.
Got it.
Okay.
I use stealth.
So, Keelam, you're next.
Me?
Yep.
I'm gonna take my full action, my full movement towards Parrish.
Okay, sounds good.
And how? What's the range for?
4, 5. Oh, I'm sorry, no, 3. That's as far as you get with your normal speed.
Wait, I thought it was speed was like.
Your normal
30.
speed is 30. Every block is going to be 10 feet for this. fight.
Okay. I was just like, what?
Yeah.
That's
yeah.
like half of the amount. Okay. And how far does how much is the range for magic missile?
Yeah, if you want to. Magic missile is 120 feet. You are still way too
Yeah,
far from the
I'm not-
giants.
I'm not close enough.
He's
So-
a lot closer to me than I thought.
You know-
I'm sick.
You weren't. He was only 130 feet away, and if you full move, you could get 90 feet. So you're not terribly far.
Yeah, but I wanted to do this.
We wanted to dash.
That's probably better.
You already hit.
You know which each character.
Hiding
right?
is better than dash.
You anyway. We're not going back. So you've hit, and that's your turn.
Yeah.
Keelam.
I'm
yes.
gonna I can't patient defense. It's a monk.
No, you can. Not as a bonus action, but you
Oh,
could
but
use
I
it
can-
as your action
I mean, my action is like to no.
if you want to. Yeah.
Yeah. So I'll put up my shield, get ready to get hit, but like that's as far as I'm gonna go for this turn.
Yeah. Okay. So next up it is.
Steady advances.
Next up
What do you
it is.
19.
Is Raven.
No, 18. 18.
Oh, Raven is going to move up 90 feet towards Parrish.
Small, right?
Yep.
No.
On my head, on table.
Next up is going to be a giant's turn. The blue giant moves forward. He moves 40 feet forward.
Jesus.
And let's see. From here, he can see the others as well. So he's going to move 40 feet up towards Parrish. He's going to dash there.
Damn, man, she's right behind you, bro.
Yes. That's going to be that giant's turn. Next, it's this giant's turn. Kusan is going to move up 40 feet. She picks up a tree, uproots it, and throws it at the blue giant. Here's my d20.
Come on, Nat 20.
The d20 has not failed. It hits. Not a nat 20, but it still hits. She deals 15 points of damage to the first giant.
That's good. I'm proud of her.
Yeah. So that's going to end her turn. She stays there. You moved her 40 feet up, right? Okay, just want to make sure. And next up, it is Johan.
I just
Alright,
realized I can
I want to go my full 40 feet.
Mm-hmm.
He's the metal one.
No, go back there.
He's the metal, yeah.
40 feet. And I'm going to use... I'm going to dash afterwards, too. That's my action. Can I dash forward?
Yeah, you can.
Another 40 feet.
Another 40 feet.
Correct. Do you want to use anything for your bonus action?
I will rage at this point.
All right. How does it look when you rage?
My mustache flares a little.
Oh.
It just starts like
It
waving.
bristles kind of like a porcupine.
Yeah.
It's a Ghibli movie.
Oh, of course.
And then I just like flex my muscles and just grab
Oh,
my
yeah.
axe.
You take out your axe. You have your shield up too?
Yes.
Yeah, and your muscles just flare, and from your energy, an almost cold sensation starts to appear above you, almost like you have an aura around you. That's going to end your turn. I'm sorry, not Kim. Zeke, you're up.
All right. I'm going to bonus action shift. I'll pull out one of my blood vials, stab it into my chest.
Wasn't it a full action to shift?
You're probably right.
I believe it's a bonus action to lightning or fire up or whatever.
We will find out in a second.
Hybrid transformation. Action. Fuck. All right, well, we're going to action shift.
All right,
We're
yeah.
going to stab ourselves with a blood vial. As our bones break, we're going to howl at full peak transformation.
Oh yeah, your skin starts to tear as furry skin starts to replace it. Your nose starts to bend. Your muscles surge. Your eyes go yellow, and you feel the hotness in your blood. You turn into a werewolf. What do you do now?
I'm going to use my 50 feet of movement to move towards Parrish.
Absolutely.
And I don't think I need to do anything to spell this action.
You can lightning up or whatever as a bonus action.
I'll proc my blood maledict. I'll take my claw and slice across my arm,
Uh-huh.
and I'll cast lightning on my weapon.
Okay, which weapon? Your claws or your scythe?
What are your scythe?
Okay, yeah. Your scythe starts to crackle as electricity starts to circle around it. The blade starts to melt the snow under it. That's going to end your turn. Next up, Parrish. It's you. You're the one.
Quick question: does Hound of Omen count as a spell or?
It does not count as a spell, no.
Good.
But is it a bonus or a regular action? That's what's important.
It is going to be. It's a regular action.
Okay.
But what I'm going to do is I'm going to take my full movement speed.
Now, how far away is he from the blue giant right now?
30 feet.
30 feet. Yeah, absolutely. You can just move.
Yeah, I'm gonna move more towards the giant, I guess.
Whoa.
More towards the giant. All right.
Our giant.
Our giant.
Our giant.
How much feet?
30 feet.
Only
Next
two.
game,
Not.
we'll have
like,
red
also down,
lights,
so running away.
laser pointers.
And then I'm going to, for my safety, using. Can I use it as a cast?
You can't use it because it's not a spell. It doesn't count as a cast, so you can't bonus action Hound. But you could bonus action your spell.
Can I bonus action darkness?
Yes, you absolutely can.
Okay. I'm gonna bonus action darkness.
All right, that's 2 more sorcery points.
Four.
So let's see.
4.
If you could just draw, where do you cast it?
I'm gonna I'm gonna cast it. You know, I'm just gonna cast it around me
Around you. All right, that's easy enough.
because I don't want to die.
Give me just a moment. So about 20 feet. So
Like,
There we go.
let's see.
nobody can see through this dark semicircle that surrounds Parrish.
Except for me.
All right. Correct.
And then I'm going to use my hound. Another three, not two, so I'm down 5.
Okay, let's see. What would be a good representation for that?
It targets an enemy forever until it's dead, and unless it dies first. Stats of a wolf, I believe.
Correct. It has the stats of a direwolf, but it has more HP for your high level. Be sure to look that up when it's not your turn. And let's see.
Half. It gets an additional 5.
Correct. For now, this will be the direwolf. Where were you sending it?
I'm going to send it after. How far do they have to be? It doesn't matter as long as I can see them, I guess.
Yeah.
Can I still see the others?
Yeah. You can see everything. You can see through your darkness.
I'm gonna choose.
It's a hound. Yeah, tell me.
I'm just gonna choose the
The blue boy?
blue. Yeah, I can cast it again later. Blue boy.
So the way this works, does it appear
30
next
feet.
to the blue boy?
30 feet away from that.
So 30 feet away from the blue
within
boy?
30 feet or 30 feet? Let me read this real quick. I wrote 30 feet. Yeah, 30 feet.
So 30 feet away?
30 feet from the target. Yeah.
Okay, so put this 30 feet in front of the blue boy. That is your hound.
Wait, why would you put it 30 feet when you put it like right behind?
He can't.
Yeah, it's 30 feet in general.
It has to apparently be 30 feet within the target. So, does the hound get to attack on the turn you summon it?
It's its own thing, I think. It's its own thing. It only targets that one target.
Alright, so then we'll say on your next turn it'll begin. But 30 feet away from the beast, from the shadows of the snow and the clouds, rising above it, this black, gnarling, large, wolf-like entity that for some reason in this imperfect 3D world looks like a yeti appears before the giant and starts to growl and threaten it. I believe that's going to be your turn, Parrish.
Yep.
Okay, next up. The next giant gets to move. So, the purple giant...
It has its own turn.
Oh, roll its initiative right now, then.
No. You need more luck. 16 plus it was a direwolf stat.
It's like 2, so let's say 18.
It's 18.
So it'll move after Johan. Okay, so the purple giant is going to move 40 feet up. Okay, he sees the other giant, so he's going to throw a tree at Cassis. And that's going to hit. So let's see, that's going to be real quick.
Can I see over the darkness?
Yeah, it's only 20 feet high.
Should have made it higher. Wait, you can. I think you can.
That's 14 damage on Cassis as a tree lands right on her face. Just BAM! And that's going to be its turn. The colorless giant, the one in the back, is going to move 80 feet up.
So it's probably.
And that's going to end its turn. And now finally, the Dreamwalker is going to move 40 feet up.
Yeah, the other one had to make way around it anyway.
Yeah. And actually, it's going to move another 40 feet up. Okay, and in just a moment.
It's the power of darkness.
Okay, I think we can go one more round. What do you guys think?
Yeah. We're done.
All right, absolutely. Hello, you're up.
Alright. Who's the closest enemy?
Let's see. That would be the blue one and the Dreamwalker are about equidistance, but they're still very far away from you.
How many feet?
How far away are they?
Oh, I also get advantage against spells against the guy I suck it on. Stick it on.
Dreamwalker's 80 feet. This is 90 feet. The blue one's 90 feet.
Okay,
However, she
that
won't be able
means-
to see this one because of the darkness.
Yeah. So you can move around the darkness. That means you can get within range to attack either of them, if you want to.
Maybe.
Not with your blade, but with a crossbow.
Alright,
Or you could run up right up to them.
I just thought
Are
something
you
scary.
okay?
Oh, I'm
I
sorry.
heard, are you
Zeke,
okay?
could
And
you
the whisper-
could you help me out?
What's up? 0.
Oh, 0. Right. You monster.
I was thinking throwing knives. I'm like, no, that's not.
You
good.
have throwing knives that you could use instead, or
Remember,
the
6
crossbow.
seconds.
They're
Yeah,
the same.
but the not as much damage.
6 seconds.
She's in the snow, right?
What?
Yeah, currently she's hidden
She's
as far
hidden.
as she knows.
Okay. To get in range for my crossbow, I only have to be 30 feet away, right?
Yeah.
Okay, so let's see. The closest enemy is
short crossbow.
80 feet, so I have to move up 50 feet. So
You can move up a whole 60 feet if you want to.
do I have to do the full 60,
No.
or can I do?
No, you can. You can do just
I
50.
want to just do 50 feet. I just want to be just close enough for range.
On which one? The Dreamwalker?
That's the most powerful one.
That's the
Yes.
biggest one, yeah.
Yes.
Okay, so she goes 50 feet towards the big one.
Wait, is that her?
That's her.
Yeah. They did not notice you before in the snow, so as you dash out and make a beeline towards them, they're completely surprised by you. Make your attack with advantage.
With advantage.
Yep.
Ooh,
Wait, it's advantage.
18 plus 9.
They're
You
gonna
roll
get,
twice?
Try to get a crit. Get a second one.
You get a crit.
Advantage is rolling twice.
Advantage roll twice.
No, that was my second one.
Yeah, she
Okay,
rolled
cool.
27.
Well, 18 plus 9, that's what number?
27.
27? Yeah, let me just double check. Ooh.
If that doesn't hit, we're fucked.
Bad news. Yeah, that hits.
Oh my god. That would suck.
So you
Yeah,
can roll
please
with
hit.
sneak attack damage.
5 d6s. Alright, that is 5.
What are you doing?
12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19 damage.
19
Plus,
damage.
Dexterity, right?
Oh, yeah, did you add your dex?
What's your dex? Your dex is over here.
Oh, I know, I wrote everything down in the notebook so it's easier for me to read. Let me see, Dex is the plus 5.
Correct.
So
24.
yes.
Okay.
24 damage.
Did you remember to add the crossbow damage as well? That was a d6 to be added.
That was the d6 plus 5.
Yeah, okay.
Oh, the.
Yeah,
Oh.
you have to roll more d6. Like, yeah,
Well,
she only
did
rolled
you?
five.
I
She
don't
only
know.
rolled 5.
Okay, then yeah, you do get one more d6 to add on.
Oh, okay. So that's what. Okay.
Yeah.
So one more d6.
One more.
It was a 1 anyway. So
Well, 25, hey.
It's
That's a solid
so
number.
significant.
Some would
It's a lot.
say it's a holy number, even.
25?
I used to say you're.
Oh,
Jesus.
which is what she'll say when she gets crushed. Next up, it is Keela.
Oh, I heard-
Am I within range to use my guiding bolt on?
That's 120 feet, yes?
You are-
Yeah.
Let me just double check here. That's
Yeah.
you. So 10, 20, 30, 40, 50, 60, 70, 80, 90. You are in range to hit the big bad, but you're actually just out of range where you are now to hit this one. But if you move up, you could hit both of
I'll
either
move
one.
up to hit the big bad, or well, like I'll just hit the big bad because I want the big bad to have advantage on. 'Cause it
Yeah,
would
okay.
Kill it faster.
So first, do you want to move up at all?
I'll move up a solid like 30 feet.
Okay. So move up 30 feet forward and fire your attack
I'm
as your hands start to
casting-
glow white.
I will use one. Actually, I'm gonna cast at level 4.
Oh, level 4.
Yeah.
Ooh, ooh, ooh.
Shit. Plus 9, 16.
16 does not hit.
Sad. Very sad.
Unfortunate. That's a level 4 down.
Oh.
So as the beam of light starts to head towards the Dreamwalker, she just lifts up her staff and whoosh, right at it. The light disperses. No damage comes to the creature.
And that's the end of my turn.
That is the end of your turn. Next up is Raven. Raven is how far away from the Dreamwalker?
70.
70. All right, first she's going to move 30 feet into the darkness. Yeah, just at the edge is fine. She's going to take that opportunity to hide as her bonus action. She succeeds with a 23. She's going to step just a bit out of the darkness. And she's going to go ahead and attack with advantage. All right, that's going to hit. So let's see if we nat 20. We did not nat 20, but she does get damage with sneak attack. So we'll do this just very quickly. Okay. All right. Okay, yeah. That's going to be... That's low. That's only 17 damage, but every bit counts. And that's going to end her turn. Next up, it is the first... It's going to be the Blue Giant. Yeah, Blue Giant is going to... let's see. He's going to go ahead and swing at this weird wolf thing. Wait, was the wolf in the darkness?
No.
Yeah, okay, then he's going to swing at the wolf. Oh,
So
wow.
what's AC?
What is the wolf's AC?
They're dire wolf stats, right?
Yep. Yeah. Okay.
I think dire wolf's AC like.
It's very low. It's like 12,
Yeah.
13 maybe.
It is 14.
14. Then the first one misses, but the second attack hits as he picks up his club and he just swings at it twice. The first time the shadows kind of dissipate around it, but the second time he swings wide and he hits it. So this will be just a moment. Yep. There we go. Okay, that's going to be 15 points of damage as he hits the dire wolf once.
Okay.
Okay, so that's going to be its turn. Next up, it is Cassis. So she's going to move 80 feet towards the blue one.
Who's the wolf going after?
You
blue-
set the
you
wolf
assigned
off
it to
on
the
the
blue
blue one.
No, I mean like who?
It goes after Johan.
After me.
Oh, that's what you meant.
You
Okay,
should
yeah.
probably write that down somewhere.
Because she's a giant, are her attacks, like more impressive
She
than ours?
has
They-
giant stats.
These giants have been hitting very hard for when they hit.
Okay, so she's gonna be a heavy hitter.
Hard to say. Possibly.
Did you ever see her fight?
Yeah, and on that note, next up, it's going to be Johan.
Alright. I'm gonna try and move 40 feet towards the darkness. Okay. Right outside of not in it, but right outside of it. Yeah. That's 40 feet?
Yep.
Okay. Just I'm out of range anyway. I'm gonna throw one of my hand axes
At which one?
at the what is it called? The
Dreamwalker?
Dreamwalker.
Okay,
Or
go ahead and make your first attack. You have 2.
Yep. That's a fail.
What is it?
That's a 4.
Yeah, no, so the first one you swing makes contact, but it doesn't even get skin deep.
Alright, one more.
Oh, do you want a reckless?
Oh, sorry, I didn't replace it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, you can do it this time, but next time
Right,
remember
right,
it's
right.
at the start of your
Okay.
turn. So do you want a reckless?
I'm gonna hold on to it.
Cool. Well, make your normal attack then.
My normal attack.
Yep. Because you get 2.
I have like 4 axes.
Yeah.
That's I add that to what did I add to it?
You add your strength and your proficiency, which should come to a total of
9.
8 that you get to add to it.
Okay, so
Oh, I'm sorry, 9 that you get to add to it.
20.
A 20?
Yeah.
20 hits. Roll me damage.
Just go get it, go get it, go get it.
It's 1d6 plus 5.
Correct.
6.
6. Hey,
Five?
solid.
That's awful.
Well, you know what? So first, it hits her in her shoulder, and at first, it seems to be negligible to her. She doesn't seem to care. She's like, blows the hand axe away. However, there is a bit of a darkness that spreads upon her as the hand axe hits. And as she looks upon it, she goes, huh? And then suddenly from behind her, multiple ghosts start to appear, and their aura seems to surround her. Your ancestral guardians surround the Dreamwalker.
Hold on, what did you do?
She got hit, and now there are
She got
ghosts
hit
haunting her.
by our spirit.
And now, at that, it is your Wolfo's turn.
Wolf, wolf.
Who goes scratchy? He's gonna go for the. If he goes around, it doesn't prompt attack of
You're
attack
talking
of
about.
opportunity, right?
It wouldn't
Just
need
goes
to.
around-
It's right in
just
front of
goes
its
around
target.
Hmm?
It's right in front of its target.
It doesn't
There's
have
no
to
need
move.
for attack of opportunity. It does have to move, but it's moving straight.
No, I mean
He
like
wants
if
to
you.
get behind it.
I want to get
Oh.
behind it. Is what I'm
Then
saying.
no,
So we're
there
not
would be
wrong.
no attack of opportunity.
Okay, cool. So he's gonna do that.
Wait, what's his movement?
So wolf moving
It's a
50,
giant.
50?
50 feet.
Okay, I assume he means like around the other way. So
Yeah,
there's
just
a-
like
yeah.
right behind it.
Exactly. All right, so yeah, so now it's behind.
And then he's just
Jesus
gonna go.
God.
He's just gonna go for the bite.
Yeah, I like it.
Bite his booty.
Bite him.
I guess roll.
Yeah.
The wolf goes for the booty bite.
19.
19 hits.
Nice.
2d6 plus 3 piercing damage.
Yeah, roll that for
And
me.
then it's gonna succeed the strength check, but if it didn't. Oof.
Well, we can find out.
Yeah, we'll find out.
2d6,
You can roll 1.
7 plus
Three.
3, 10.
10.
And what's
Strength
the strength check?
And strength check is Constitution.
What's the
DC
DC?
13.
Okay, so that's going to be 10.
So that's strength. My bad. It's not gonna.
It's strength, right?
Yeah.
I rolled a nat 1. So what happens?
Oh boy!
I told
Knocked
you.
prone.
Not prone?
Knocked prone.
Wait a minute, there's something hilarious we have to consider here.
It's a giant.
Will it fall on the wolf?
You attacked it from behind.
So it goes forward.
Oh.
Oh, it lands on
Make
Parrish.
a dex save, Parrish.
Oh
That's amazing.
Do it. You got
As the
this.
wolf jumps on its ass and bites into its back, he goes, whoa!
You got it.
17.
70, yeah, that's good enough.
Okay.
You maneuver just right out of the way. Now it's stuck in darkness
Wait,
and you can see it, but
shouldn't
you
Shouldn't the dog still be on him?
It's
He's
like he's like right behind it.
he's like practically right behind
Yeah.
He it's more like he pushed rather than stayed
Okay.
on.
Gotcha.
Yeah. So Parrish managed to deftly save himself from the trap laid by Parrish. And now, Zeke, it's your turn.
Okay, I'm gonna use my full movement to go for the Dreamwalker.
Alright, that's 50 feet.
How far away am I?
About 40 feet.
About 40 feet. I'm gonna use my action.
Before that, so you get right on her, or are you 40 feet away?
I'm right now. I'm 40 feet away, but
Oh,
I want
okay.
to use my action to get on there.
Alright, cool. So he dashes towards her.
Yep.
Your lightning spear in hand.
Yep, and I'm gonna action surge.
Alright, before you get to do
Okay.
that, make me a charisma saving throw.
Okay. I
Charming.
have advantage on charisma saving.
No, you don't, but you do have advantage on this because it's a charm effect.
Okay.
Guys, I'm so sorry.
It's okay.
Don't worry about that.
I have
Hold it
advantage
later.
on concentration.
Yeah, you do. Because of Warcaster.
Uh,
You'll remember it next time.
15.
15 passes. So as you get closer upon this giantess, there's something strange about her. Now you're getting finally the good look. Her skin is weird and patchy in places, and at some parts you see harpoons, branches of trees sticking out in her fleshy color. You see a wolf head upon her shoulder. You see various antelope antlers in her shins. There's even part of an anchor coming out of her neck, just one small part. And as you look upon her, this strange being, for a moment, something comes over you. Not feelings of affection or love, but just bewilderment, amazement. This strange being, almost out of this world. But then, thinking of your friends and your new interest behind you, you shake it off masterfully. Perhaps due to your drow blood, or perhaps you're just iron will. And now you can action surge.
All right, so I'll action surge and I'll take 2 attacks.
Yeah, absolutely.
Come on, lucky 7.
What was it?
That's a 15.
Okay, total?
Yeah.
That does not hit.
All right, I'll take again. A billion.
Oh, really?
28.
28. Let me just double check. Oh, let me just add the 5. You can't wear white after Labor Day.
Yep.
According to the math, yeah, you hit.
All right, cool. All right, so this
That's important.
damage is a D8 plus a D6 for the Crimson Right, plus hybrid form. Okay. I thought there was more damage.
You do get to add, I believe, a D4 for your lightning as well.
Right. 662. That's 14 plus 1 slashing, so 15.
15. Did you add your dex?
No.
Okay.
20.
20. Did you add the +2 for your magic weapon?
22.
And finally, did you add the 2 because you're in werewolf form, and werewolf form is like raging?
That's what I was looking for. 24.
24
Write down
damage.
everything.
Never
Right
said
now.
I was. Never say I'm not a kind god. All right,
Oh,
I
it's
believe.
God.
I believe that's going to end your turn, unless you have a bonus action you want to use.
Hold person. Hold creature?
Well, if he was a sorcerer, maybe.
I don't have that blood maledict.
Oh, that's right, that one.
I have no. I'm good right now.
Okay.
I'm gonna snarl at him.
Yeah,
Her.
Yeah,
Her.
you do
I'm
so,
like,
and as you start slashing upon her ankles, and lightning starts to stun her leg, she goes like, "Ugh, ugh, little fucking pup," she says. And now it is
Yeah, call
Parrish's turn.
So
Oh,
he's
she
like
said little fucking pup.
Yeah, that's
right,
it.
right in front of me, right?
Yeah, you know where you are, and he's right on you.
Right on me, right?
Oh yeah.
All right, dope.
Wonder what that could mean.
Let's
Oh, bad. And Parrish is about to take out his
I'm feeling a
greatsword.
bit druidic lately. I might have to get out my shillelagh as I pull out my hook. So I bonus action shillelagh.
Yeah, absolutely.
cast,
Now you're using your charismas.
and I'm going to be smacking it in
In the head? Yeah, sure.
Right in the eyeball.
Right in the and he's prone, so I have advantage.
Yeah.
And
Yeah,
he's in darkness,
actually.
he can't see either.
Yeah, so both ways you have advantage. By the way, what attack is this? Is it just a regular swing attack, or you adding a little something extra to it?
Ooh.
Well,
This is going booming. This is going booming.
Booming, I like it.
So that's also no, I can't. Yeah. So I'm gonna flex. Smack in the face.
Yeah, describe how this goes. Do you like go for the whole whoa kind of thing? Do you go like whoa, like a jab kind of thing? How do you do this?
I'm like, oh look, there's his eye. Put my
Yeah.
position. I'm like, okay, this is right.
Okay, roll to see if you hit.
Misses. How?
Yeah, with advantage too.
Double
Jeez.
that. 19 plus 5 plus 3.
Yeah, I think that hits.
Mm.
So go ahead and roll damage, and
Okay.
we'll put this over
So
that
it's
giant to
D4
represent that
plus
it's
a
now
D8.
booming.
And then plus a D8. So that is.
I believe for Booming Blade, the damage actually, the lightning damage only adds on when he moves.
when he moves. Yeah.
Yeah, so don't
So
roll
he-
that now.
Yeah, I understand that. It's 2D8 when he moves.
Yeah, you'll have to keep that in mind. But I've marked him as booming.
Oh, cool. So that is.
Does that count when he stands up?
Yes.
So that's 12. That's just 12 damage.
12 damage, that's nothing to sneeze at. This guy's getting the fuck kicked out of him. All right, and do you want to move?
I'll move 2 steps to the left.
Cool. So you want to stay in his like
I'm staying in
range?
the darkness.
Yeah, okay. I'd say now 2 steps. You mean like 20 feet?
Yeah.
Okay, with that, he is going to get an attack of opportunity because he feels something.
I thought he's prone. You don't get opportunity.
You do. It's just disadvantage.
Oh.
And it was disadvantage anyway because of the darkness.
You can attack with
To
your
his
phone?
left, you said?
Yeah.
Yeah,
Like
you can.
grabbing it
You
from the
kind
foot.
of. Oh, I was gonna say, did you just like stab their ankle?
You could.
That's the idea, yeah.
Ah, sweet.
You ever watch Kill
On
Bill?
that note, does a 19 hit?
Does it hit?
Yeah. It does.
Yes.
You have your ring.
We're gonna go with yes.
Oh, even doesn't win.
Do you even have mage armor on? I don't believe you
I don't
mentioned
think
that.
so. No.
Yeah, no.
If
So
it's 19
Yeah.
and your thing is 19, then it hits.
If I had known, I would have just stood there like a schmuck.
yeah.
Well, then you were already safe and you decided to move.
I didn't know that he got opportunity to attack.
So you get he can't see you, but he felt something jab his fucking eye, and then he heard something moving. So he's like, And he's just doing a wide swing. Unfortunately, it does hit you in the back as you fall down, and you take 15 points of damage.
Dick.
Yeah, so that's going to be the end of your turn, I believe?
Yep.
Okay, next up, it is the purple giant's turn. He's going to move up 40. Not a little bit to the left. I'm sorry, my left. Yeah, there we go. And he's going to throw a rock at... he's going to throw a rock at Hella.
I was just thinking, I'm like, oh wait, because it's a reaction to somebody hitting me.
Yeah, you can use the... Which one do you want to use?
Unsettling visage.
Unsettling Visage. Okay, so as he picks up a tree and he's about to swing it at you, what do you turn into?
I want to look like one of those scary rabbit ones.
Like, oh, okay.
They're
So as
terrifying,
you,
though.
yeah, so as he picks up a tree, you suddenly start to shift. Your skin starts to mold, starts to turn a silverish, and then it starts to turn a deep-seated reddish, rashes orange. Now, standing before you guys is a very tiny version of those cursed rabid monstrosities. And as he sees this, he goes, "Grah!" And let me just see the light. Oh, he still hits, but he was scared while he did it.
So it wasn't like it wasn't just like punching someone. It was like squishing this scary bug that you're not sure if you're gonna actually hit.
Yeah.
Oh, look at
I feel like it's more like he
Exactly.
saw it, but the tree was released already.
You didn't haste anyone.
You buff my AC to 21.
Oh, no harm in
You take 25 points of damage.
Holy!
Wow, you guys
And
are-
unfortunately, because you used reaction to scare him, you cannot have it.
Can I have what?
you can't
Because you
pass.
had that other ability.
Oh.
But you didn't
oh.
use that one.
Okay.
Yeah, choices made.
5 isn't too bad.
Yeah, so it's 20.
25.
25.
Yeah.
Oh.
25 is a little worse.
I didn't hear
Just a
the
little.
first number.
Look,
Look, man,
All right.
getting late.
The colorless one is going to
Yeah, but I wanna
move
keep
40
going.
feet. And yeah, like that. He's going to turn towards Zeke. And he's going to swing at Zeke. Does a... I bet you it doesn't, but does a 14 hit?
Whammies, 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 whammies.
Does a 25 hit?
Yes.
Ooh.
Just like that damage.
It's okay. I have stuff that reduces damage.
You're also raging.
That's the idea.
Oh, I hear a lot of dice on me.
Well,
A
yeah.
lot of dice.
So does a 23 hit? I'm sorry, I meant to say
damage?
yes. I'm sorry, my mistake. That's 23 damage. Now he's not using anything silver or magical, so it is halved, I believe. Correct?
Yes.
Yeah. So that's going to be halved to 12.
Perfect. And I wanted to ask you about something.
Yeah. Go ahead.
On the Crimson Right, after it says I can use a bonus action to imbue a weapon or my claws for extra damage, it says you take damage equal to and your max HP are reduced by 10 until the right phase.
Reduced by 10. We'll do that for now, and we'll double check it in a
Yeah, I
moment.
wanted to ask.
Yeah, I don't know off the top of my head,
Okay.
so we'll research it.
Okay.
Yeah, but for now, that's 12 damage you take.
Okay, so we're gonna ignore that
Yeah,
until we research it. Got
Yes.
it. Okay, so 12. Got it.
That would be 2 damage instead. That'd be nice.
Yeah, minus 12. Okay.
Okay, next up, it's the Dreamwalker. The Dreamwalker is gonna go ahead and
husband!
yeah, the Dreamwalker is gonna go ahead and swing at you as well.
Disadvantage.
Yes, it is. It is disadvantage. Yes. Damn, nice. So let's see. That's the first one. Ooh, that's much better. That's
Wait, that or disadvantage?
Disadvantage.
Because of
does a
his
19 hit
at disadvantage? It's equal.
at disadvantage?
Or equal,
Then
so
that
it
hits. Yeah. Wait, aren't you a werewolf right now?
Yeah.
Didn't it go up to 20?
It goes up by. I thought it only went up by 1.
It does only go up by 1.
Yeah, so I'm at.
So 19 is then yeah, it hits. Now for the second attack, still at disadvantage. Okay, I'm going to guess a 12 doesn't hit. Okay, cool. So this will be just a moment. Yeah. Yeah, that. Okay. Okay, so let's see. It's going to be... That's going to be 27 points of damage, but halved to 13. Unfortunately, it is not halved again because resistance doesn't work that way, but all the same, 13 damage. Okay, and with that, the Dreamwalker is actually going to go ahead. He's going to move 40 feet towards the Barbarian Johan. Can he make it? Can she make it?
Did she get an attack? Did somebody get an attack on top?
Yeah,
Zeke does, yeah.
Those giants are uncomfortably close.
They are, aren't they?
I know, right? That's how I feel. I'm like, oh.
Could you back up a little?
Like, I have bread.
21.
21 hits.
You know what? I should become a bread peddler. Like, if this doesn't work out.
Side business?
No, my meat business.
Okay, I literally rolled all ones, but
Yeah.
great weapon fighting. I'm gonna re-roll my ones.
Holy shit, yeah.
These ones, get them out of me.
Fuck your juju!
That's much better.
That's
Alright,
way
so that's
better.
10, 13. 13 plus 4 is 17 plus 5 is 22.
Jesus. Okay, yeah. So as it walks right over you, you reach out for its left tendon and you slice it right across the Achilles heel. So as it makes its next step, it's like, ah! And it's lightning coursing through its vein. It steps down, looking over you, Johan, but then also looking at you, and it says, "You fucking fucks."
I'm gonna roar, never walk away from a puppy.
All right, and with that, we're going to have to see if our heroes can survive this fight next time on Dungeons and Ducks. Screen cap that shit.
I would also take a picture with a phone just to double.
We will.
Meow meow.